No. I don't do podcasts. So.
No, we just talk, innit? That's what we've been doing. We just talk. So I just introduce you again, basically. You're Kai. You're how old are you? How old are you actually?
22. How old did you think I was?
I thought you were like the same age as me. I'm 23. I thought you were 23.
I'm 22. I'm 22.
Oh, you're a year younger than me. Okay. And you are a UK based, not UK, US
Not.
based footballer, right?
Based in California.
Based in California. And are you playing in a team right now?
Not during the summer. During the summer, my goal, I said in my last video, like I got a missing 2 teeth right here. So
Yeah.
my goal this summer is to like finish up these implants and stuff. Just I know it's random, but
My goal this summer is to grow teeth.
no. They have to like insert fake teeth. But it's a long process. That's why no one really cares. But this is a podcast, so I got more time to talk. I'm not gonna talk about this all in the video.
Take your
But
time.
right now, yeah, to answer your question, I'm not playing in the team right now.
Right, but like,
In the
so
fall,
do you usually play in summers or do you skip summers altogether and just try to play in the fall and winters?
usually I'll just in the summer. Usually I'll just play pickup with like guys from this area. That some of them are like playing. Some of them are playing pro. Like one of them's playing pro in the Philippines, and then a lot of them are just D1 players. Usually I'll go into San Francisco and play with them in the
Right,
mornings.
right. And bro, talking about fucking pickup games, do you think they help? Because that's all I've been doing my whole life as well. I've like I play in a local league now, but it is competitive, but it's not that competitive either. Like pickup, I've learned so much from pickup. So, like in your opinion, how well do you think is pickup for growth?
I think honestly, pickup. I don't think people realize how important just playing games is. People always think, well, I honestly like from my videos, people probably think all I do is individual training and that's all you need to do, which I do a lot of. You need to do on the side, but I think pickup is more important. If you can play more pickup, that's
Yeah,
obviously going to make you a better player. And the more games you play, but more importantly, play with people that are higher level than you or at the same, not even at the same level as you. Try to find people that are better than you if they
right.
allow you to play with them,
And
and
that's
just
the hardest part.
yeah, you gotta find like a friend or make a friend that's like that knows people that are like at a good level, and then let you hop in, and then from there you'll get so much better. Just
Yeah,
trust.
but it's stressful the first time as well because you go play with them and then you suck because they're so much faster and like in game their passing and all that stuff is so faster and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? And you're so
Yeah,
like that's what happened with me when I first ever played with people that were better than me because I was so slow mentally, like I couldn't make decisions that fast. And then those guys would pass, like those guys would know where to pass even before the ball actually came to them. So the
hmm
ball came and they would pass to the right person, and I'd be like, "Wait, what just happened?" And they
yeah,
ran me around circles, and it would the hardest part was me to go back again the next day because I wouldn't know that even if like would they even let me play with them because I sucked. And thankfully they did, and that's how I grew. And that's I think that's the trust factor you have to take in consideration,
and you
right?
have to like you have to be. I don't know if you care if I swear, but
It's fine.
you have to be shit at first in order to get better. Like you're not gonna just you can't just expect to be the best player all the time. If you expect that, then you're not gonna learn anything. Like
Right,
by playing with these better players, like you said,
right.
even though they're thinking at a higher speed and stuff, that forces you to like adapt, and you don't want to lose the ball every time. So you have to figure out a way to do it somehow.
Right. It also kind of like I've seen some player. It also kind of pushes some players on the corner, though, right? Like there's people who don't cope, who can't cope up with that kind of thing. Like it takes a different mentality to actually be like, okay, they're better than me, but I'll try to be at that level. But some people just, you know, they hide behind the defenders or they don't ask for a ball or anything, and that's the kind of mentality you have to grow out of, right?
Yeah, I can't lie. I used to be like that. Even when I was like 13, which was like I was probably one of the that was probably like when I was the best. I don't know how to describe it. For my age, I was like the highest out of people my age. Like that was when I was the highest. I'm getting back there. Don't worry. But when I was 13, that was when I was probably the best for my age. And even then, I was scared to get the ball. And one of my coaches, who actually he was coaching the U20 U.S. national team in the World Cup like a few weeks ago or whatever.
Right.
and he was kept telling me, he's like, you just need to get on the ball and make sure you lose the ball. If you get the ball 20 times, lose the ball 15 of those times, and those 5 passes you make are gonna change the game. So
Yeah.
it's, at the time, honestly, I didn't listen to him, which was stupid, but I learned it like a few years later because I kept making that mistake.
Right. So you just try and error.
Exactly. You gotta
Yeah.
just try. Everyone is scared of failure, but I've gotten to the point where I kind of like enjoy failing because I know something as good is gonna come out of it.
That's amazing. And that's the way, I mean, that's the way learning is, right? You don't really like learn anything if you're just good at it, right? You're just,
Yeah, it's fun to be good, but like I don't know,
yeah,
it's not fun to just be at the same spot your whole life. To me, it's
that's
boring, just
facts.
not improving.
That's facts. Yeah. Talking about you playing at third. So at what age did you actually start playing football? Like, what was your beginning?
Ever since I could walk, probably. But
Really?
I don't know if that answer is like, you mean like competitive or
Yeah. Like, so, like, did you start by going into an academy straight away, or did you start by like playing like everybody else plays, just going out and playing, or like when did you actually start becoming serious and all that stuff?
yeah, I would play like in my backyard with my dad
Yeah.
for the first 4 years or so. And
Right.
then when I was either 4 or 5, I don't know the exact age to be honest, but around that age, 4 or 5, I hopped onto my first team, AYSO. Um
Still remember
AYSO. Yeah,
it.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen the videos. I wish I could like show it on the screen or something, but those videos are legendary. Those are my favorite videos because I was just like I was nasty. I was slide tackling and stuff. Those videos are sick. But I played AYSO for a year and then I hopped into actual like a competitive team.
Right. Right.
Not saying AYSO is not AYSO is not competitive. I
And
can't lie.
you've been playing competitive ever since, or you hopped on and off?
Yeah, yeah. Try to play at like the highest level I can since.
That's amazing. How do you think that like what are your thoughts on actually like starting in a competitive environment from the get-go, or enjoying the game first, falling in love with that, and then be like, okay, I should get on a team or in an academy or something? Like, what do you think is better?
I think well, if you want to be the best player, I think you need to start in the most competitive environment. But there's also the side of the game where you like a lot of competitive players, they lose the actual enjoyment for the game. That happened to me because
Right.
last year, um, if we get into like the future when I was playing, but I was playing on a D1 team last year just for the spring because I walked onto a team,
Yeah.
D1 in the US, and during that time I was kind of like treated like shitty because I was a walk on. The coach didn't care about me,
Yeah.
and I lost my love for the game. It was just I thought I wasn't gonna like care anymore, but
Yeah.
then after a while, after actually the spring break, we got a new assistant coach
Yeah.
and he just completely changed the game for me. I think it depends on also who your coaches are. That's a
Right.
really big factor because some of them don't really understand how to treat you as a player. I think Mourinho does that really well. I saw something about him,
Yeah.
like he calls every player and just really understands his players. Where some coaches like they just have one mentality. They don't adjust for every single player.
Right.
So I would say being competitive from the start, but also like going out with your friends at like school and just enjoying the game. So
Yeah.
a mix of the two, probably the best.
Just those lunchtime fucking
Yeah,
football games, mate. Those were the best, didn't it? You actually felt like Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, and you're just shitting on people, mate.
exactly. I was so good on, especially in the U.S. Imagine how bad the quality is.
Fuck,
It was nasty.
bro.
It was
And I
nasty.
seen your older videos. You're pretty decent at futsal as well, right? Like, is
Oh,
that's where you actually started?
I'm better at futsal than 11B. I think it comes down to my fitness though. Before this, we were talking, and I was saying fitness is like were you recording or no? You weren't recording
No, I
that
wasn't
part, right?
recording with it. No, no, no.
Nah, fitness is so important, and I think that's why, because I'm like nasty at futsal, but
Right.
like one time when I was also, I feel like I'm just like, what's it called?
A skiller?
Boosting my own ego right here by saying like when I was like 12 again, it was a futsal tournament, and like the U.S. national team coach, the youth national team coach at the time, my coach introduced me to him because I played so well at the futsal tournament.
Yeah.
And last year also I was playing with the D1 guys and they were like all saying, "Oh, you should go pro in futsal. You should just stick to futsal." Which I do like futsal, but the 11v11 game is so much bigger and there's so much more potential for it. So I
Yeah.
think futsal is honestly like my favorite type of. If you had to like categorize like beach soccer, futsal, all these different things,
Yeah.
futsal is definitely like my favorite. I
You're
can't.
you're actually pretty nasty at it. Like I'll pull some videos on the screen, but this guy is an actual fucking skiller. Like the way you do those fucking around the worlds, you just make it look simple, bro. I had to train. Like I genuinely fully practiced doing the single around the world, like the outside one, for a year, and that's how like now I can do it finally
Oh,
for a
yeah,
year.
it took me a long time too. I just
Yeah,
started when I was really young. I was like
yeah.
what 12 because I started to make YouTube videos on it. That's how I started making videos. Was
Right.
I wanted to get on free kickers. You know free kickers?
Yeah, the UK channel.
Not German. They're German. They would do like a top
Oh,
five free
UK is
kickers
the
a week.
F2 freestylers. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But the free kickers would do like top 5 free kicks of the week.
Right.
And I would just try to like every week I was like trying to get on their top 5, and I made it one time. It was like the peak of my life right there.
Oh, you did actually.
I did made it. I wasn't stopping until I made it in that video.
Now your free kicks are nasty, bro. I've seen those fucking videos. It's the top corners. But one thing about like that I like about you and your videos is that you don't only show the good bits. Like if any of you guys watch his videos, like I'll show you in the description as well. Like you actually show the bits where you actually fail, and that's amazing because most people don't. They only show the highlight reel.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's like you showing that okay, it's fucking going all the way up to the heavens when you shoot the ball. That is the real practice. Like there are shots where you hit the top corner, but like most of the times you're not gonna do it, and that's why you're practicing in it. And that's what I
Yeah.
like about you.
I think like it annoyed me how people just only showed the good things.
Yeah.
And I would watch all these channels. It doesn't just come from like soccer videos. People in general, just
Right.
on social media, they only show the highlights. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like to show like what the reality of it is. And also I find it funny sometimes just showing like myself slipping and stuff. But even though I mess up on the cones, it happens. People mess up. Unless I play for like Barcelona, maybe I won't mess up. But even those guys probably mess up a few
yeah,
times, but the cameras don't want to show it. I don't
yeah.
actually. They don't mess up as much as me. They probably mess up like once in every
Yeah,
five
but they don't
thousand
show it
years.
though. They don't
Yeah, they're
show it.
not going to show any mess up. So I think it's important to showcase these things and like show people that it happens because people think they have to be perfect. And I think in sports in general, like nothing's gonna ever be perfect. You're
Yeah.
never gonna be satisfied
Bro,
with
even the likes of
striving
Messi
for
miss free
perfection.
kicks. Sorry to cut you off, but like even the likes of Messi miss free kicks. Like who are we to who are we to not miss, right?
Yeah, Messi's trap. Nah,
No, bro. Okay,
nah,
that's where we draw the line.
He's the
That's where
goat.
we
He's
draw
the
the
goat. Nah, I'm
line.
playing. I'm playing. Don't cancel me. All right,
No.
guys.
Hey, it's an opinion, isn't it?
Nah, I'm
But
just
yeah,
kidding.
no.
Nah,
Reverting back to your beginning. So you started playing very early, was doing futsal and doing competitive. What then? So did you take part in your high school team or did you play in the academy somewhere? How was
Yeah.
that time period?
Up until I think up until I was 11 or so, I was just playing on a regular club team because in the US they don't have academies until I don't know how it is now, but when I was playing, they didn't
Yeah,
have academies up until like U13, 14. So when it was U13, 14, around that age, I hopped onto an academy, a
right,
local one, and then when I was 15, I switched to a further academy, which was a little bit better,
right,
and then at that same time I entered high school. I'm trying to figure out the timeline in my head because there's a lot to it. But I
right.
think when I was 14, that was my first year of high school. Not
Yeah,
sure, but 13 or 14. And then I went to that academy, played there for a year, 15, 16. And then honestly, I wasn't good enough. So I
yeah,
didn't make it to the U17, 18 academy.
right,
And high school, we reached like the championships and stuff. Had a pretty good team, but I wasn't playing academy. I was just playing club.
right.
And the end of my junior year in high school, I had like a pretty big injury, and ever since then, I've always been pretty injury prone up until more recently. Oh, actually, that's not true because I got injured like a month ago, but I've always been pretty injury
Yeah,
prone. So I was just struggling with injuries from
right.
my junior year on in high school. So every year I would miss out on like probably 4 months of playing.
Yeah, that's the worst.
not fun, but
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
happens. I gotta find a way to fix it. I gotta like. That's why I'm trying to train my lower body more.
But like, what kind of injuries? Is it like an ankle injury or just like a normal muscle injury?
It all started. It was like a dead leg, and then I kept playing. It was like I know it doesn't sound bad. It was the 15th minute of the game. You know
Yeah.
what a dead leg is?
No, I actually don't.
Oh, it's like when you get kneed in like the quad, like right against your bone. It's a
Right.
bone bruise, like it's a bone bruise, and that happened in the 15th minute, but it was like in the championship game. So
Right.
my coach is like, you got to keep playing on it, and it was so painful. But I played the whole game, and then we made it because of the championship. We made like the
Yeah.
regional semifinals because of that. Then he made me play in that,
Yeah.
and I kept playing, and it just got worse. So eventually, a few months later, I had to get like the blood taken out because the blood was just pooled in that area. So someone had to get a needle and take the blood out. It
That's
was
mad.
not fun, and I was out for like a few months, and it just kind of went downhill from there.
And that
Otherwise,
was in high school, right?
that was in high school, and then otherwise, I have only this year was my second time spraining my ankle, so I haven't really had ankle sprains. Otherwise, it would be like muscles,
Yeah.
hamstrings, and hip flexors, stuff like that.
Bro, thankfully, I've never had an hamstring injury. I'm so thankful to God. It's crazy. Like I do have ankle injuries. Like, bro, there's this one time my ankle rolled and my whole body weight was on that ankle. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Because everybody that was close to me heard a like audible bop. It was like crack. And bro, I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm out for the next 2 months. Bro, 2 weeks later, I'm still playing. Like
That's
it's crazy. Like it healed slowly, but if I just sat down, it might have just healed quickly. But I'm so glad that it just healed so quickly.
yeah, that happened to me. That's what the ankle injury this year. The same thing.
Yeah,
I went to block across. I was just playing like in a casual pickup game too. This is what's annoying about it.
same. Yeah,
But it happened. It happened. It's whatever. But
yeah,
I went to block across, and I blocked across. The ball hits my foot. My
yeah,
foot twists like this, and I
yeah,
fully land like all my weight on the side of my ankle. And the
yeah,
same thing happened. Like there was like a pop,
yeah.
and I'm like, no, no
Scared.
way did this happen right now. But
Yeah,
at that point, I'm just like, it happened. I can't do anything about it, so I got to just deal with it at that point.
yeah. And like, so how long was it after that you got onto the field again, or did you just continue playing next day?
2 months.
Oh, you didn't play for 2 months.
Not well. I did like maybe like a month in. I did some like casual stuff. I was on crutches and like in a boot.
Oh, that bad, huh?
It was pretty bad. It was pretty swollen for like 2 weeks. It was still swollen.
That's mad. So like, also like how's the like medicine situation in America? I've heard like it's pretty bad, isn't it? Or is it decent? Like, because
Oh,
when you do something like that, because emergency here sucks, by the way, in Canada. Yes, I'm calling Canada out right now. By the way, fuck y'all.
I think it's good in. I don't know actually in the U.S. I don't know how I would rate it to be honest.
No, like with
But
your like ankle injury, did they just give you like normal fucking Advil or something, or did they actually prescribe you meds?
they didn't give me anything. I just had my own Advil.
No, no muscle relaxants, no painkillers, none of that shit.
Nah, they took an X-ray, which was well. Also, like I don't like I knew what it was. I knew what the problem was,
Yeah,
so I didn't want to spend all this extra money on like getting diagnosed and stuff. I just wanted to make sure like none of the bones were broken because
right,
I know what they said like with an ankle. Oh, also I went to the school doctor, which was free.
right,
I think they might have prescribed me something, but I don't remember to be honest. But
right.
they told me like even if it's like a fully torn ankle like ligament, I think that's what it is. Like even if the ankle ligament is fully torn, like
Yeah,
grade 3, if it's like the first time it happened, it's gonna heal up. But if it happens like multiple times, then that's when you like require surgery and stuff. So I was
right,
fine with it. I knew it would just take time. That's all I needed.
right. And that's the hardest part for a sports person, isn't it? Just sitting out.
I used to get like depressed being injured, but now I'm like more like in the moment. I'm like I gotta deal with it. So I gotta just
But
you
like,
know.
what do you do? What do you do at that point? Say you're out for a month, you can't like you're on crutches, right? How do you cope up with that? With the fact that as a sports person, you're so in habit of every evening you're gonna go out. You're either gonna play pickup or you're gonna train. You're gonna move your body. But when you're not able to for a whole solid month, which is a long time for a sports person, I must say, by the way.
Yeah, like 2 days is long enough for us.
Bro, yeah. And like, how do you cope up with that then? Like, how do you, like, what do you do in those times?
It's hard, honestly, because so many people, especially me, like I need to do exercise to go to sleep at night, because otherwise I'll be so jittery, or I have so much energy that
Yeah,
I can't fall asleep.
right.
So my energy will just I'll just keep thinking about stuff. I would say doing upper body or whatever injury it is, like if it's like
Yeah,
an ankle injury, you can still do upper body work
right.
and maybe go on the bike like a few weeks into it. Depends
Right,
all on how you feel.
right.
But to deal with it mentally, maybe I'm not like a doctor, so I can't really give advice. But I
No, but
would
like
say
you personally, what do you do?
personally, I just think about I've been like reading a bit more, so I get more into reading, or I try to find good habits to replace like what I would be doing,
Right.
and find time to like learn about other stuff and use the time, because you got a lot of time, so you got to use it wisely. Don't just scroll on
Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok. Don't waste your time doing that,
I
which
feel like if
everyone.
you, sorry, I feel like if you like, even like if you do that constantly, like after like 2 days, I think you automatically just go, what the fuck am I doing? Because you're so
Or
in
what?
zone effect. Like just scroll on social media.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, that's what you think. Like that's what you think. Like both of us, we were talking about this earlier too,
yeah,
because both of us don't
we don't really use social media.
yeah, which I think for us, because we don't use it, we're like very conscious of when we're scrolling. But a
Yeah,
lot of people aren't conscious of it. Like they just do it and they don't realize that they're wasting their time and they could be doing better things. I
yeah.
think to us it's like it's a given, but
Bro, it
you'll
happened
be
to
surprised.
me. It happened to me the other day. So I was just doing. I opened YouTube to look at some like of my agency stuff. Like I was trying to learn something, and then I just opened Shorts, and I started scrolling. Yeah, like fucking automatically, the brain goes, okay, boop, next video, next video. 15 minutes later, I'm like, wait, what am I doing? 15 minutes?
I can't
And I
lie to you.
yeah,
I did that this morning.
bro, legit. And the thing is, like, I was like, okay, fuck, you know what? Let me remember what the last video was, bro. I swear to God, the last 15 minutes, I couldn't remember what I fucking watched because that's how quick it was. It's
Yeah,
like what,
so
just
bad.
time wasting it is.
I was just waiting because I was texting you on Instagram. I wanted to make sure like I was
Yeah.
responding to you on time, so I was like, I'm gonna just watch some shorts and see when he responds. And then
Bro,
I was just watching them. Oh, not even shorts, whatever, reels. I was just
yeah,
watching them and I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life.
right. And
I
that,
just get depressed when I'm doing it. Like so, instead of downloading, I don't know if people watching this want to delete social media
yeah.
like Instagram or TikTok. This is what I've done. I've been on the chess grind recently, so I just downloaded
Oh yeah,
chess.com app. And
yeah.
every time I feel like going on like Instagram or something, I'll be like, nah, 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 I'm gonna play some chess
Let's
instead.
play chess.
Or also like or Duolingo. I downloaded that too. So like just find some apps that actually like build
They actually
purpose.
contribute. Yeah.
Yeah, like that'll help you every
What
day.
what language are you learning on Duolingo?
I downloaded it. I haven't used it yet.
Just download it and be like, okay, I'll use
I
it when I
use it
need
in the past. I use it
it.
in the past. But I was learning when I was going to Germany or I was going to Austria, I was
Yeah,
learning German.
right.
Right now, I don't know. I don't know what language I would learn.
Okay.
Mm,
Spanish
probably like
maybe?
yeah, maybe I'd like try to perfect my Spanish is like my second best language. I think
Is it
honestly
really?
I want to learn French. I want to learn French to be honest. Maybe I'll start doing that. This kind of inspired me to I gotta actually use that app. Just have it on my phone. I'm just
Alright,
wasting it.
I'll keep tabs on you, but like, where you at with your French boy? I'll send a
You gotta
random
do
monsieur, bonjour
exactly.
monsieur.
Send me random French messages.
Yeah. No, I downloaded Duolingo when I was back in India purely because of the same fact that I had so much time on my hands. I was like, fuck it.
Uh,
And the only reason I started learning Spanish, and the only reason I want to learn Spanish, is actually pretty fucking stupid. I want to know what Messi, Suarez, and Neymar used to talk back in the day from, because there's like so many footages of them just talking in game, but I can't fucking understand it.
yeah, they probably all have the thing with like their languages. When they speak Spanish, they all have different dialects. Like Messi,
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard to understand Messi because a lot of the things he says like are weird. Like because he's Argentinian. For me,
yeah,
it's like, really hard to understand what he's saying. But if it's like a regular like if someone from Spain, for me, it's easier to understand. I don't know
yeah.
about Uruguay or I don't like, know how Neymar's Spanish is.
Neymar, it's Brazilian. Yeah, it's different. It's different dialects, isn't it?
Yeah, they
But
probably use like.
somehow they're able to talk. So I guess we'll be able to hear if we're like
Yeah.
good enough in that language, right?
I always wonder, like, does Neymar, like when he's in the locker room at PSG, like how does he talk to Mbappe?
Bro, facts. But I mean, Mbappe's like I think people like it's pretty well known that Mbappe's Spanish is pretty good. Like he talks
Oh
in Spanish
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
well.
He knows a lot of languages. I think Neymar's English is better than I think too. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, 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 yeah. Have you seen one of the Neymar's interview with Steph Curry and fucking Will Smith? He speaks pretty
Nah,
good English. Yeah, yeah. His interview
really,
with Steph Curry was pretty decent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
good interview.
that's
He's
my
big
goal.
on basket. That's your goal, bro. Legit.
Yeah,
Your fucking futsal skills and all that. You kind of
love
resemble
him.
Neymar too. Yeah. But yeah, going. Sorry, I'm reverting back to the high school period.
Yeah.
So when you say, because I've always been confused about this. When you say in the U.S. you don't have academies, but you have clubs, is that are those two different things? Because I imagine like a club would have its own academy. So like as a kid, you would join the club's academy, and then you would go, okay, I'm in U17, U18, and then okay, I'm in first team, and that's how it goes, right? Or is it different?
Only the So when you think about academies in the U.S., there is a difference between clubs and academies. I don't know if it's the same in other countries,
Right.
but I mean probably in Canada too. Like with the Whitecaps, they have their academies,
Yeah.
which I think they play against the U.S. teams. I'm not sure, but from there they go. They actually have like a European type of system where it's like U13 up into the first team. But
Yeah.
with clubs, you just play up until like you're 18 and you go to college, and then from college, people will get recruited, continue playing in college if they want.
Right.
Or some people probably want to, but they don't make it. But like if you want to keep playing, you have to play in college, and then from there after college, that's what I hate about the U.S.
Yeah.
is that after college, you really have nowhere. There's no serious system set into play.
So if you flop in college, there's no system for you to actually go, okay,
Well, not really. There's no semi-pro level is what I mean. Like they're like
uh,
amateur teams. There's no in between the pro teams and like the amateur teams.
right.
There are what 4 professional leagues in the U.S. I think,
Yeah.
and there's the UPSL,
Yeah.
which is I played in one UPSL game. I don't know how the level really is. I think there are better teams than the ones I played with, but
Right.
the level is not insanely good. So there's no in between like semi-pro level, which I
Right.
think they need to implement. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
Right. I don't. I think. Do they have a pyramid system? Like, do they have relegation and promotion system in the US or no?
No,
So it's
they
literally
need it.
just a set number of teams, and those are the only teams that play.
Exactly. It's horrible. There are 4 leagues professional. Well, actually 5. Yeah, there are 5 professional leagues. Which sounds kind of crazy because that's there's the MLS, there's the USL Championship,
So you mean
USL.
like 5 divisions, right? Like Div 1, Div 2, Div 3 kind of
Well,
stuff.
like they're classified as there's no actual like there's no relegation, so there's no divisions.
Right.
Essentially, people in my head, I kind of have a list of what the divisions are like. I would
Okay.
say it's like MLS USL Championship, and then USL League One,
Yeah.
MLS Next Pro, and then NISA.
Yeah.
I think that's how people normally categorize it, but there's no actual. Maybe they do have like a set thing, but I don't pay attention to it, to be honest.
Right. you don't want to play in the US. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, you want to play in the US national team, or you actually want to move abroad and play in the Europe? Because I know you've played. Let's talk about that. Fuck it. So after high school, you went abroad to studies, right?
Yeah, to Italy. Oh, it wasn't for studies. It was like for this program where you study Italian, and then at the same time you play for like this academy, and you play against other academies and stuff.
Right.
It was an interesting experience. That feels like ages ago.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. It was like 5 years ago now.
And how would you like? What's the difference between the levels in Italy where you played and the levels in US where you played?
I think in the US, I mentioned this in like a video a long time ago. In the US, it's more like physical,
Right.
not even just physical, like pushing and stuff, but like fitness levels are a lot higher and stuff like that. Everything's about being the best athlete you can be.
Yeah.
Whereas in Italy, it's about being like the best player you can be, understanding the game, tactically and stuff like that, which
Right.
is how I prefer it because I'm not
Yeah.
the most physical player.
Yeah. No, I relate to that because that's exactly what my game is too. Like I prefer the ball moving more than the players, and I think
Yeah.
that's how football is in Europe, and that's how I grew up with it. That's how I always watched football. Be like, okay, midfielders, like every position have specific roles. So why would you leave your like I've seen like I play in Canada here, and there's a like big comparison here. Like I can physically compare people playing here to even in India. Like people play the same as Europe. It's weird because India is not at that level yet, but the mentality of playing is kind of similar. Because here people would take the ball, they would start running, but in India they would take the ball and they would think, okay, who can I pass to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it should be. Everything I would say it's more individualistic
right.
here. Everyone sees it comes down again to like the highlight reels. Everyone just sees like Messi and Ronaldo and they just want to be like them.
Yeah,
But it's not like
that's
that.
that's like 2 minutes out of their fucking 90-minute game, bro. Not even
Yeah,
2 minutes. It's like 2 runs, 3 runs, and that's their highlight.
exactly. I think there was a stat or something like saying you're only on the ball for like 2 minutes or even less.
Three
And then
something minute it is. Yeah, I've read that theory. Yeah,
pretty crazy. You're
yeah.
just running for 87 other minutes. Like I don't think about it, but like that is
It
what
is
we have to
true.
think about.
And that's why I love five-a-side football too, man. It's like even like
Yeah,
after 2 minutes, you eventually get the ball, bro. You play 11v11. All you're doing is just making forward runs or whatever your position is. You're just running without the ball, and it's so sucky. And you're like, am I even involved in the fucking game? But that's how it is. That's how the game
yeah.
is.
That's why I like futsal so much because I get so many touches on the ball.
And you
I
get to
don't
show off.
exactly. I get to pull out the skill moves. That's all I care about.
You got to dunk on them kids. Poor Americans, bro. Leave them alone.
It's fun though. You're making me want to play futsal now. I
Bro, I
wanna.
mean, if you're good at it, then why don't you? Because if
There's
it's
no
fun for
system in
you,
the U.S. There's no good futsal system in the U.S.
bro, you can turn a normal pickup game into futsal, no? Just go to a basketball court and with
I
your
mean,
friends.
like a actual indoor court.
Oh, like proper, like competitive. Ah. There are no futsal teams in US.
It's like they have a tournament every like once a year or something, but it's not like that's the good thing about Europe.
Yeah.
That's why I love Europe so much because you can find not only like an 11-a-side club like every what 2 miles.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what division because there are so many divisions there. There are so many clubs. You can find a team so easily there,
Yeah.
even at the lowest level. And then you can find futsal teams too. They're all so close to each other. It's also compact. In the US, you have to go like 50 minutes just to find a team, which is
Right.
so annoying.
It's worse here in Canada.
It's even longer.
It's evil. Bro, there's so much land here and not enough people. I hate it. It's weird. Cause like I traveled from my region to Toronto back in 2019. It's 2,600 kilometers of road journey, bro.
How long is that? How many hours?
It's like it took me 2 days and one night. Like I reached there at the second evening on a drive.
You stopped, I hope. Like, did
No,
you
I
stay
actually
overnight
did not.
somewhere?
I actually did not. It was fucked up. I was supposed to stop at one stop, and I was like,
Wait, you didn't even. But you had to get gas. You just
yeah,
got
I mean,
gas by
obviously,
the time you stopped.
yeah. I got gas and I ate some food, and I just continued traveling.
How do you do that, bro? For 2 days, that's insane.
It's my mentality of I just want to push my limits. Like legit,
Yeah.
I was that part. I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. I'm not gonna fucking sleep. And I was with so I wasn't alone. I was with my roommate. We were both traveling. So yes, there was time where I would sleep. He would take the wheel, but we never stopped.
I feel that though, because I had the same thing happen with my friend. It wasn't like a 2-day trip though,
Yeah,
but we were like contemplating staying in a hotel for the night. But
Yeah.
then for some reason we just got this adrenaline rush to like finish the drive, like finish the last 5 hours. We were like, whatever, let's just like do it. And then we were just blasting music in the car. It was
yeah,
just like you gotta just find that like push. It's honestly not as hard as I thought it would be.
yeah.
If you really want to finish it, you'll finish it.
No, but it also comes down to traffic, innit? Like the roads here are like you don't see cars, and the roads are so big. Like I come from India, bro. In India, if you want to travel, what like I just went like I told you, I just visited India like a couple months ago, so I'm pretty fresh on the comparisons right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like I traveled for like 200 kilometers and it took me 5 hours because that's how much traffic there was. And
Is
like
it like really like I've
it's
never
very
been to India.
compact. It's very
It's like
compact.
is the traffic crazy? Like people don't give a shit about what you're doing as a like they just think about themselves as a driver. That'd be
Yes.
interesting to see.
And it's weird because like it flows, it moves. The traffic, I've never seen a
Yeah.
proper jam.
That's what I always see in the videos of it. It's like somehow it just always works out.
It works because if there's space, you'll find a car. Like that's like I'd lived in Canada for 4 years before I went back, so I was pretty like set on the system here. And then I went back. It actually gave me a little shock. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And then I started comparing. So here in Canada, if there are 2 lanes, you'll see 2 cars. In India, if there are 2 lanes, you'll see 4 fucking cars because there's space in the fucking lanes.
They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. They just gotta
I
get
like it
from
though.
point A to point B, and that's
Yeah,
how it moves.
as long as it works. Is it
Yeah.
like the law is like not strict about it at all? I guess they just kind of gave up at some point.
Bro, there's so many people. Like, how many people?
Yeah, they can't do anything about it.
Like the traffic laws are the least. I mean, yes, they are strict. Obviously, you'll get a ticket if you don't fucking wear a helmet or don't wear a seatbelt. But they're not gonna stop you if you're not in the right lane, right? Because like if you want to turn left, you go to the left lane. You don't stay in the right lane and be like, "Oh, I want to turn left. Can you give me space?" No, the other guy's gotta go too. I'm sorry. Yeah,
you kind of like
you find space and you turn left. That's it.
I learn a lot by doing that. You learn so much.
Bro, legit. Like if
life.
I always say if you drive in India, you can drive anywhere in the fucking world.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So easy.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
But yeah, sorry, we diverted back, but like we fucking went on a tangent so bad. But yeah,
I like those type of talks.
No, legit. It's weird because I bring that perspective, like because I've been in those places, so like I don't know. Like that's why I'm asking you about Europe because I've never been there, so I want to know more about Europe. Like, okay, so like you went to Italy out of high school, and then you came back, or you stayed. How long did you stay there for?
Stayed there up until COVID forced me to go home. Well, I was gonna leave around that time anyways.
Right.
If nothing came out of it, so I stayed until like March 2020, and then came home, enrolled in university here. And then I've been in university, and then last fall 2022, I studied abroad because I knew I wanted to play abroad also. Yeah. So I just used it as a chance to play abroad. And I went to Vienna, which was a pretty crazy experience, to be honest.
Yeah.
You got any questions about that?
Oh yeah, obviously. Like
a lot to talk about. So
how different is let's talk soccer. How different is I'm not gonna call it fucking soccer. It feels weird when I say it's soccer. Football.
I'm calling it soccer all day.
No, don't be that guy, please.
I don't get how it's not that deep. Like people make it so deep.
It really is that deep. The whole world calls it football. What's wrong with you?
I don't mind. Like whatever people call it. I'll let people do whatever they want.
Fair enough.
Funny how people get mad like over the
enough.
word.
Okay, this might be one of my dumbest moments. Is Vienna in Italy or different?
It's in Austria.
It's a different country.
Like the corner. It's kind of close to Italy. It's maybe like a 3-hour train ride. No, actually 3 or 4. I never went to Italy though from Vienna, so I don't know how far it is. But they border each other, so it's not that far.
Oh, okay. So like in terms of soccer, did you see any differences from both places or?
Yeah, it actually is a pretty big difference. Vienna's a lot more physical.
Right.
Like German, it's like German. It's pretty much the same as German football. Like it's very physical.
Right.
Italy is more tactics again.
Yeah.
I'd say Germany's just obviously also tactics. It's not just like.
Right. It's not just running.
It's not just like the U.S. just running, but
yeah,
it's like a more tactical version of the U.S. It sounds bad comparing Germany to the U.S. though. I don't want people to think about it like that. But it is very physical. That's what it brings a more physical side to the game compared to Italy.
And Vienna. And how did you cope up with that?
I didn't end up playing any like. Oh, you saw I played like 3 games or something, but I had the issue with my pass because for some reason I was still connected, or what's it called? What's the word? I can't think of the word. I was still like registered with the team in the US from high
Okay.
school. That which was like 5 years ago. I'm still registered with them for some reason. So I
Right.
couldn't. So I missed the transfer window to playing games. So I
Yeah.
only played in friendlies in Vienna, and I was training with the team every week, like
Right.
training 3 times a week. But I didn't play in any games,
Right.
which was annoying. But the games that I did play in, the level wasn't like insanely high. So
What division was it?
it was fifth, fifth. I don't remember. I think it
And
was fifth
and that's
division.
that's professional divisions, or like is that
Nah,
semi-pro?
nah, that's semi-pro. Like
Semi-pro.
my teammates were saying they were making like a few hundred a month,
Right.
and they would get more if they won the game and stuff like that. But in Austria, it's the first 2 divisions that are professional.
Right.
So the fifth division, it wasn't that. The level was not that great. I
But
was
like,
trying to get
how
almost
do,
at a tryout.
how does that work though? Like, since you were registered, but it's a completely different country. It shouldn't kind of matter, should it?
Like
Because it's
that's the thing
semi-pro, isn't it?
when you sign for a team in Europe, or I think anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
When you sign for a new team, they gotta contact your old team or contact the U.S. For me, it's the U.S.
Yeah.
Federation
Right.
because that was the last team I played for. So they got to contact the U.S. to make sure I'm not registered over here.
Right.
This is depending on the transfer window too. If it's during the transfer window, it doesn't matter at all. They can then transfer me to the Austria. But if it's after the transfer window,
Right.
which is what happened with me,
Yeah.
I don't know why the transfer window closed so early in Austria. I think it's like a weird in there.
That was the
But
summer window, right?
yeah, it ended at like July 16th, which is
Yeah.
super early. I thought it'd be August 31st.
Yeah.
But because it was after the transfer window, they weren't allowed to transfer me from the US to Austria,
Right.
which is stupid because we also talked about it before having that potential issue, and then it happened.
Yeah.
So I gotta still deregister with the team here because I don't want that to happen again.
So because of that, you couldn't play in any actual like competitive matches. You just trained with the team.
Yeah, exactly. I,
And
I would
how
still go to the games and watch, but
right? And how long did you stay in Vienna for?
that was for a semester. So,
Four
well, it was
weeks.
longer than a semester though, because I went there start of June, no, June or July. I think it was late June.
Yeah.
I don't know how I already forgot this. It happened last year. It was like June to December, so 6 months.
6 months. Okay. And 6 months you just trained with the team. How did that make you feel? Not
Yeah,
playing any competitive. Or were you doing
yeah.
pickups over there as well? Or pickups a big thing in Europe, like in Vienna or Italy? Because you can talk about that, or no?
Uh, I didn't really find any pickups to be honest. There were some fields that we trained on where you could tell there were pickup games, but the levels weren't that high.
All right.
But I would say because there are so many games going on, so many trainings, there's not much time for pickup. And there, actually, that's not true at all. I don't know why I said that, but well, I'm just thinking about because like there are so many teams to train with, and people are always training. So I think instead of doing pickup, people are just training with their teams. Like
Right.
because there are so many teams out there in the US, there aren't as many teams.
Right. So
There are
you find,
futsal courts and stuff, but
yeah.
I didn't ever see people. It wasn't like I went to Barcelona because my friend was there,
Yeah.
and I played pickup out there, which was pretty sick. I think the pickup's a lot bigger in certain countries, but in Vienna, it
Right.
wasn't as big of a thing.
Right. So you
Kind of.
trained. You trained 3 days a week, and like, did you do any? Are you big on individual training? I'm sure, like, yeah, you make videos and stuff, but like, do you do it religiously every single day as like a habit, or do you mostly look for team trainings and if you find time, and then you do individual?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so up until I like that you asked that question because it kind of changed over the last few years.
Yeah.
Up until like in quarantine, I was training every day.
Yeah.
And then up until I went to Vienna, like ever like since quarantine 2022 up until maybe June 2020.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like I'm 2020
2020 to 2022.
Yeah, it's like tripping me out. I don't know
You
why.
went backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said 2022 twice, but those 2 years
Yeah.
I was training. I pretty much trained every day. If there wasn't an injury, I would be training every day, an hour just by myself, and then also doing pickups sometimes. But
Right.
for those 2 years, I was training every day. But then when I went to Vienna, I just stopped training individually because I got the first month I was there was like probably my worst mental state of my life. It was pretty tough. And then there were some days because there was this court near me that had like turf and I had a goal. So I would just go there. It wasn't necessarily training, but I would just go pass the ball against the wall and just have fun with the like try to enjoy the game again because I kind of lost the love for the game.
Right. Just kick around a bit.
Yeah. And I think actually like it's kind of weird that you asked that question because the last like 2 days ago, I'd say, I kind of just got this weird motivation again to just start grinding. I can't lie, like over the last 2 years, or over the last year, I haven't really cared to train that much, to be honest. And I think I've just lost like my love for the game. But I went to train with like some of these guys from who I live with, or not live with, but they live in the city near me.
Right.
Like some friends, some old friends that I've met up with, and I trained with them, like did the group sessions and stuff. And it kind of made me realize like my touch is just shit. So I'm like, I gotta just grind out like my passing, and I really like the last 3 days I've been going to the park and just like bringing my speaker out and setting timers, passing against the wall for like 45 minutes, just like pretty much nonstop. And it's just been pretty fun.
Proper grind.
Nah, it's just like fun for me, to be honest. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but while it lasts, like I just want to like perfect passing right now. Kind of just grind, like addicted to it.
But don't you think if you actually played in a team setting, it'd be more beneficial with you though? Like even if you like played pickups, you would know where to pass rather than just passing onto a wall.
100%, yeah. I just want to work on my technique right now because I noticed like when I was passing and training with my friends, like my passes were just not going where I wanted them to.
Right.
And it was disappointing me because I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not this shit. Like this is just sad.
I feel like that's the kind of mental talk every sports person kind of needs to have. Just self-evaluation. It's the big thing, right?
Yeah, you can't be delusional about how good you are.
Yeah.
Which I think I am sometimes.
I mean, be confident. Futsal.
Yeah, I'm good at futsal.
There's no delusion right there.
You can't catch me lacking in that. But like, I can't lie. Up until maybe I was like 20, I thought I was way better than what I was. I was like, oh, I'm a professional level.
Yeah.
I was not close. I was maybe like semi-pro level up until then. And then the last 2 years, I've really gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be delusional about myself, but you got to also have confidence in who you are.
Right.
You just got to be, there's probably a better word for all this, but just be like aware of who you like, where you really stand in like everything. Because everyone's delusional about how good they are, I think.
Yeah. But you gotta be mindful of your strengths, but you also need to be like, I'd say how I feel is like I'm very good at passing and patterns. Like I find different, like it's weird because in my mind football is all patterns. Like if you get the ball, I immediately know, okay, how can this passing pattern work? Where can he pass? Where can the other man run? And I'm very good at that, and I'm very good at implementing it. But I'm also aware of the other things that I'm shit at, which is my finishing, my fucking fitness. And I feel like as a sports person, you have to find a weird balance between your strengths and also your weaknesses. Like you got to be confident, but also mindful of what you suck at so that you can actually work at that, right?
Yeah, 100%. You got to be aware of it so you can fix it. And then also like, what's the word? I think there's not a word, but I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, okay, I got it. No, you just got to be like your one strength. Usually, I think I've heard a lot about this. Like a lot of professionals are just really good at one thing, so you got to be good at everything, obviously, but like be like above average, like in that one thing,
right?
Really succeed.
But do you think that one thing can carry you to that professional level?
Nah, you got to be good at like across the board, but that one thing is going to bring you to the higher level. Like some people have like insane amounts of fitness. Some people are good at 1v1. Some people are good at defending 1v1s like Wan-Bissaka. Like people will see what your like one talent, not one talent, your one's.
So that one skill you're saying is that one skill can make you stand out.
Yeah, it'll make you stand out amongst like the crowd.
Right.
That's what I noticed a lot from players.
But what if that one skill is just passing the fucking ball?
You'll notice it. Like Busquets, people notice it.
I don't think people do, man. They really don't, because
the real players realize it.
Bro, the thing is, The thing with passing is that you can pass your best, but if your team is shit, you're just not gonna be able to
Yeah, that is true. That does hold you back. That's when you got to adjust your game. Like
What's
I saw this clip. I don't know who you know if you know who Draymond Green is.
No, I don't know who that is.
He's a basketball player for the Warriors, and he was talking about how he joined the Warriors, and he was a player that they just didn't need at all. So
Yeah.
he completely changed his game up to adapt for the team and become a player that they really needed. The
Right.
guy that like would just fight for every play. Like he wasn't like that before, but he
Right.
had to change up how he was as a player in order to get the starting spot and like help them win championships, which they eventually did. So
Right.
I think you gotta just the smartest players know what the team needs, and even if they have to sacrifice how they play, like they'll
Yeah.
know
They adapt.
what to do. Yeah,
And I feel like that's where when you say you fall out of the love of the game, that's where that kind of problem strikes
yeah,
in,
it could happen easily.
right? Because the only reason you love the game is because you shine at that one thing which you love to do, and that makes you feel good about it. But if you're a little bit serious, yeah, you might as well work on your weaknesses. But if you're completely just focusing on that, not focusing on that one thing that you actually enjoy, that might kind of take you out of the game, right? No?
Yeah. I think people just got to be aware of it. Sometimes you have to make that sacrifice, to be honest,
Right.
even if you don't want to. I think sometimes I've gotten to this point. Maybe back in the day, I wouldn't have thought about it like that, but nowadays I'm thinking about it like, how can I benefit myself? Like I'm excited to like just make myself better. So if that's
Right.
in one way or another,
Right.
it'll just make me feel good.
That's amazing. Do you like track your sessions as well? Like, do you write down everything what you work on and where you're lacking and stuff, or do you just know what you're lacking at and you just go?
Nah, I probably should, to be honest, but I don't do it at all. I usually just go into trainings without a set plan either. Actually, no, that's not true. With the passing stuff, like I'll know what I'm doing,
Right.
but like usually with the videos, I'll just be like, what drills? I do the same drills every time though, so
I love
it's
it
not
because
yeah, it's
that's
not hard for me
practice.
to think of. It's not hard for me to think of drills, but I think a lot of people organize themselves.
Yeah.
I usually like to be organized, but when it comes to like football training, it's not something I do. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I, I used to do it sometimes, but not really that much.
But yeah, but I think that's kind of good too, because then that way you're fluid. Have you heard of that Bruce Lee quote? Be like water.
Yeah.
So like
Or
if,
like I
yeah,
was thinking of the Muhammad Ali one also, like
uh,
butterfly.
fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, or something like that.
Yeah. It's not the same, but
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought about it.
Yeah, no, basically it's like where I'm going with this is like if you don't have a set plan, like you're adaptable. You can do things which you wouldn't if you were fully regimented. And I feel like that's good on some level too, because then that way you can find some strengths that you didn't know you had.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Like you gotta be consistent with some things.
Yeah.
Gotta be consistent with some things.
My fucking room messed up. That was a weird sneeze. Sorry, you heard that?
Yeah, I heard both of them.
My bad. Yeah.
You gotta. I was just gonna say it can go both ways. You can be consistent about it, or like just do whatever you want every time. And I think I like doing the like being free with my sessions just because it helps me enjoy the game, switching it up every time.
Right.
But there are times where you just need to be consistent and just like with passing, if you want to work on that,
Yeah.
there's only like one thing you can do is just pass more. So
Yeah.
you got to just be repetitive with that.
Right.
But I just like it because I feel like I would lose my love for the game if I did the same thing every day.
Right. So I think that's kind of what I do too. Like at the beginning of the session, I just juggle, do whatever the fuck, and then as you warm up, you get into the groove of things, and then that's when you actually start training like regimentedly. But I think everybody who plays football, I think that's how they train in it. Like they just begin with just juggling and just doing like fucking around with the ball.
Yeah, unless like your team gives you a certain like I know people that have like summer programs and stuff.
I'm talking about individuals, because bro,
Oh,
I haven't told you this yet, but like I haven't played in a team ever. Like this, like where I'm playing right now, it's like literally like a recreational local league, and it's mad when I say about it and I think about it, like because where I am is literally nothing, and I aspire to be a fucking pro footballer, but that's a whole different conversation we'll have. But that's the thing, I never really played in like a proper competitive team setting with coaches and shit. So all the football that I've learned is either by pickup or by training alone, which training alone has been most of my life for the last 2.5 years. But before that, like before I moved to Canada, it was just pickup. I started goalie, by the way. I used to play cricket, like I told you, in a fucking academy setting, so I was pretty decent at it. So when I started playing football, because I fell out of the love with cricket, I was like, fuck this shit. It's too slow. And I started playing fucking football, and the guys would go, oh, you can use your hands? And I was like, a little bit, yeah. Because I was a wicket keeper, so I was pretty good with like catching and stuff. I was pretty good with anticipating where the ball would go. So I started as goalie in like random pickup games, and I was decent. Like I was fully diving for goals as well. And those guys were like, fuck, we found the new great wall. And then I did that, and they boosted my ego for a couple months, and I was like, okay, this is shit, because all I do is just stand around and do nothing. I do stop a couple of shots, but that's it. And then I started slowly going forward. I started defender, midfielder, and then attacker. And that's how I started like learning football. I never really had someone who taught me the way, you actually play the game. It's like nobody said, okay, you should pass a certain way. I just learned it by playing. And that's what most of my life has been. So like when you say you train with a team, you actually know what you do. But like I've never really actually trained with a team setting, so I really can't relate to that.
Oh yeah, I was also like referring to, like I know some of my friends that are playing D1, like they'll get programs over the summer. Like not this is by themselves, like individual training. Their coaches will like, or I don't know if it's their coaches or just they have a set one for every summer.
Yeah.
Like they'll have a program of drills that they need to do and stuff like that. So they have it already organized for them, which is kind of nice. But for me, it's just fun to just figure it out and do. I like testing out new drills, to be honest. Or in my head, I'm like, oh, what do I want to work on today? And then I'll just do that.
Okay, that's nice. But you do kind of have a certain plan, though.
Yeah, I'll be like, I have an idea of like what I want to focus on,
but not like down to the
field. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So right now you're training mostly with the team or just individual?
By myself.
By yourself.
In groups too, yeah. Like I can't play for these. I can't play like what's it called? I can't play contact sports because I got my teeth like surgery.
Yeah.
I can't play contact sports for like. It's been a week. I haven't played for a week, and I can't play for the next week until like next Thursday, which is super annoying. But that's why I just been working on my passing because.
Hey, that's where the dedication is. You lack in some areas, you find it, and you press on it.
Exactly. I've also lost like 5 pounds, which I kind of hate because I've been trying to bulk this whole time.
Give me your jeans. Give me your jeans.
It's because I haven't been eating anything because I can't eat much.
Yeah, no, that sucks then. I'm sorry.
But I'm trying to gain weight, like muscle weight, so it's super annoying that I've lost. So once I can get this stuff out and stuff, I'm just gonna start eating like crazy.
Yeah. Are you one of those guys who just lose weight in a fucking blink of an eye? Or do you actually like do you maintain weight most of the times, or if you play more you just lose weight even regardless of what you're eating?
If I'm doing fitness every day, I'm gonna be losing weight.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want. That's not I want to keep my weight.
Bro, I wish I had that mindset. Facts, man. I've been on a cut for so long. Like I've been on a cut for over fucking 3 years now. So like I still weigh myself religiously every Sunday. Now I started doing it on Saturday because I'm like, fuck, because I have games like those local games on Wednesdays, so I can't cut that much that I feel weak in the games. But I'm still religiously, like I have my fitness pal locked on, and I have over like 1,000 days locked on it.
And that's good. Yeah, it's good to keep track of it. It's funny because I have the same talks with some of my other friends who they're also trying to like slim down and stuff, or like get more toned, and I'm like the complete opposite where I'm trying to bulk up and gain weight. So and we're always arguing like, oh, which one's easier and stuff, or like which one's more mentally clean. But they're both like completely different, and I can't see both sides, but I could imagine how hard it is to like. Well, I kind of see it right now because I'm not eating.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to eat, so it's like
Yeah. Talk
super annoying.
about eating. Are you mindful of your nutrition, or are you just eating whatever the fuck you want?
Oh yeah. If you ask any of my friends, that they hate me because I'm so conscious about what I eat
My guy.
and
Yeah.
what I like. Everything, like my parents kind of hate it because like they'll be like, "What are we making for dinner?" And it's like, I sometimes they're like, I'm usually just eating something different from the family, but
Right.
uh, for the most part, I eat healthy. If I'm trying to gain a little bit more weight, maybe I'll go like eat like some fat Chick-fil-A meal or something like that, just because it has a bunch of protein.
Right.
But for the most part, I try to just eat really healthy if I can. It's just expensive though.
Do you cook? Do you know how to cook? You cook your own meal, or?
I'm not good, but I'm working on it. I'm
Hey,
working on it.
I've seen you cook some eggs and some bacon and toast. Babe.
Bro, if you saw my eggs back in the day in the Italy video, those were
Yeah.
disgusting. They were so bad.
Really?
But I can cook a little bit better now. I think it depends on like the materials I have. If I have everything
Right.
set out in front of me, I'll do fine. I just don't like using too much. I try to use as little plates as I can and stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't have to clean as much, but
Yeah.
I gotta just deal with it, to be honest.
And do you have, talking about nutrition, do you have like a set like nutritionist, or do you talk to coaches about it, or you just watch YouTube
Nah,
videos and see?
just watch
Yeah.
YouTube. I watch a bunch of like what I've been following more recently, like on Instagram. There are like pages where I don't know how to explain like the niche that it's in, but it's like living like a more traditional lifestyle. Not traditional, but like how do I explain it? Like this getting sunshine, the stuff that like
Oh, like not that modern, so like not
yeah,
indoor
like
indoor
old
fan
like
and all that
old
stuff.
fashioned, like
Yeah.
what humans like should be technically doing.
Yeah.
Like not going on your phone all the time,
Yeah.
getting good sleep, going to bed early, stuff like that. Like I've been following a bunch of pages like that
Yeah.
to just remind myself that there are people like that, and I got a community,
Yeah.
and just like feel like better about it because a lot of people, especially like in the college scene and stuff like that, everyone wants to drink and smoke. I
Yeah.
don't do either, and I eat healthy. People don't always eat healthy. They go to
Right.
sleep at like 1 a.m. So
Yeah.
I'm complete opposite to like all that. It's
That's
hard to find people that are like-minded.
Well, you found one, buddy. I fucking everybody hates me with this shit, and you can relate to that too, right? Like your friend group actually kind of hates you because they're like, you don't do shit with us, you don't eat bad food with us. I'm like, I just can't, man. It's
Well,
not the time of month.
my friends got to the point now where they're just like, all right, like they know I'm not gonna eat unhealthy. They'll just be like, all right, you can just go to that restaurant. We'll get this food. And we'll just meet somewhere and eat. So
Yeah,
kind of funny because they do hate on me sometimes. I can't lie. They'll be
yeah,
like, bro, come on, just eat this meal one time. I'm like, nah, like it's not worth it. It's just like temporary satisfaction. Like I
that's
don't I
true.
don't want that. Like
Yeah,
think about like if you're eating like a burger from I vowed like I'm never gonna go to McDonald's again in my life. I never went there since I was like 7, but
yeah,
thinking about like if you're eating like a burger from McDonald's, like it's fun for what, maybe like the 15 minutes you're eating it, then you just suffer after that. Like
yeah.
it's just a waste of
McDonald's is so shit. Are you? By the way, do you eat meat, or are you a vegetarian, or
I eat like only meat. Honestly.
only meat? My
Not
guy.
not not only meat. That sounds bad, but like every meal I have
Yeah,
pretty much has meat.
that's nice. Now I'm a vegetarian. I can't relate to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you eat meat? Is there a reason?
No, I just never really grew up with it. Like I'm an Indian, so we have kind of like more vegetarian dishes. Like we have a broad spectrum of vegetarian dishes, so I never really felt the need to eat meat.
Yeah. If you know like how to make that's the thing, like for me, like the easiest meals to make are just like chicken or something like that.
Yeah,
So if you know like the meals, like the vegetarian ones to make,
yeah,
then I would do that too if I knew like the right meals to make. It's just I don't know.
yeah,
I already know, like I know steak, chicken, like all those things are the
yeah,
ones I've been eating, so
yeah.
hard for me to switch up.
Yeah, about that, I kind of have you seen that one documentary on Netflix called The Game Changers?
I have, but it was like a long time ago. I forgot
No,
what it was
it's
about.
actually I just watched it recently, and I'm getting more mindful of because like it's a big myth that vegetarians don't get enough protein, but like I've recently experimented with it. Like I didn't, because before I used to drink like whey protein shakes, like 1 scoop a day or stuff like that, just to supplement my protein needs. But then when I went to India, I didn't, because I was like, fucking home cooked mama's food, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is nice, and it was all like so clean and so well made, and like different vegetables, different lentils, legumes, and all that stuff. Beans, I would eat beans religiously. So I never really like felt the need to have whey protein, and I found out that my energy levels were high, and it's weird. So that experiment made me so mindful of like if you just tweak a little bit, like if you're a vegetarian, if you just tweak here and there, but like, okay, the amount of oil I put in can be lowered down, the quantities can be a bit down, because you know certain foods are high in carbohydrates, and if you're not that, like if your sport doesn't demand that many carbohydrates, might as well, you know, bring down the quantity a little bit. So if you tweak a little bit here and there, like a vegetarian diet is like, I think it's great, but I can't compare because I never had meat. But like for me personally, it's been working pretty decent.
I think for me, the hardest thing would be like, in my head, I don't know if this is true, but in my head, like having a vegetarian diet, I wouldn't get as many calories in, so it'd be hard for me to bulk up. But maybe,
mate, there's calories. Yes, if you eat chickpeas, like a handful of chickpeas has like 300 fucking calories.
Really?
Yes, bro. Why do you think it's so hard for me to eat, bro? Cutting down on weight while you're a vegetarian is the hardest thing to do, because if you eat meat, you get enough protein from the meat that you feel full anyways. But if you're a vegetarian, you're constantly hungry. Like I'm hungry every 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I am too.
But yeah,
my stomach is like, it's built like I need to eat all the time just to gain weight.
Yeah.
But I gotta start implementing chickpeas then. Have you been eating tofu too or no? I think that's not good.
Tofu. So I eat soy chunks. I don't know if
that's like pretty much.
That's
isn't
pretty
tofu
much,
made out of soy?
yeah, but like soy, it is soy, but like soy chunks have like a pretty decent weight to protein ratio. So it's pretty much half. So like 100 grams of soy chunks has 52 grams of fucking protein, which is decent.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah. So I use that for my main source of protein, and I eat like beans, chickpeas. Chickpeas have a lot of like carbohydrates as compared to protein in it. So I don't eat a lot of chickpeas, but I eat a lot of beans, because beans are pretty decent in terms of protein and shit. Like that's the main fucking what is it called? Macronutrient? Yeah, macronutrient that I focus on pretty much is protein, that I need to get like set protein in. And then with the vegetarian diet, you automatically get the micronutrients in, because vegetables are pretty decent with that.
Yeah, I need to implement more of those like alternatives into my diet. I think I'm gonna keep eating meat, but I need to implement more like chickpeas or tofu and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can always switch up the vegetables, because like, bro, I think that's the, like, you're in America, you still get like decent amount of vegetables. It's so hard to find fresh vegetables here in Canada because nothing actually grows, because this place is under the fucking snow 7 months out of the fucking year. It's actually mad.
Because I'm in California, like everything's like grown here in California, so it's really good.
Yeah, bro. So like fresh fruit and vegetables are very hard to find here. So I'm like, bro, I've been eating the same shit for the last 3 years now. Every single day, the same food. My breakfast is the same, my lunch is the same, and my dinner is the same.
I feel that's usually what I'm like. I'll kind of switch it up depending, but once I get the set routine in, I'll be eating the same thing every day. Yeah. Honestly, I don't mind it. You like it, or you're annoyed by it? Right?
It's a habit now. Like most people, they find me fucking delusional. They find me crazy, but I'm like, it's working for me, and I don't really mind it because it's food. It's fuel.
Yeah.
Like I don't really.
Yeah. I was gonna say I look at food differently now.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of look at it as like I need to consume it. It's kind of bad though. It's kind of bad to think about it like that, but that's really what it is in the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just use it as like a what's the word?
As like a tool. As like a tool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. That's the word. All right, thank you.
But like that also reverts back to your first comment on McDonald's, bro. Like if you don't think of it as that, all you're doing is just satisfying your tongue's needs, which are constantly gonna keep coming back in like 30 minutes,
Like the
45
same.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same as like Instagram. Going to McDonald's, like same thing as using Instagram for 15 minutes.
You just ate shit.
Yeah, you're just wasting like.
Yeah.
It annoys me, but it depends who you surround yourself with, and if you want to build those habits.
Right, bro. That's been the hardest thing for me because my roommates, they eat anything and everything. Like they literally had pizza last night, and even when I went back to India, because that was the hardest thing for me to do. Because I went to India as a vacation, right? Because I hadn't like seen my family for the last 4 or 5 years. So I was like, okay, I'll take a little bit of vacation. I'll go and I'll chill. But I also went with a mindset of, okay, I'm not gonna work because I'll be with my parents, so I'll have all that free time. So I'm a fucking grind. I'm gonna lose all this weight. I'm gonna train like 2-3 times a fucking day. And with that, you have to fuel your body. So I had to eat healthy automatically. And my parents would get so pissy about it. They'd be like, you're on a fucking vacation. Just eat what we're cooking. It's nice food. But I'm like, yeah, but it's still fatty food. I can't eat it, mom. And there were so many fucking times where my mom wouldn't talk to me. Like, she was like, no, if you're not gonna fucking eat it, I'm not gonna talk to you. And then I would take like one bite. Like, I still remember in March, just before I came back to Canada, it was her birthday. Bro, I didn't have cake. And she was so mad about it as well. I literally had like, okay, I'll eat like 1 spoon. And even that, I felt guilty about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna feel guilty.
Yeah. No, that always happens to me. My parents know at this point, but like, whenever I see like cake or something, everyone always like, they're just like, oh, just have some cake. Are you gonna have some cake? You want some dessert after this meal? I'm like, I never think about dessert anymore, unless it's like a bowl of fruit, which is like the best thing.
Or dates. Oh,
fruit is like my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah.
I could just eat fruit. If I could have a diet on just fruit, I would do that, but I can't.
What's your favorite fruit?
Probably mango. A good mango.
Yes, my guy. Finally.
Honestly, I love like probably 90% of fruits.
No,
if they're like
mango's
high quality.
Fruit. Mango's the greatest fruit of all time.
It is. I think that's like a pretty like. I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah.
Because they've had a good mango, they know.
Yeah, bro. I had mango for the first time. Bro, I ate so much fruit in India. It's not even funny. Like, that's the only thing. Because I can't find fresh fruit here. It's the only fruits available here. By the way, I'm a fucking brokey, so I'm going to talk in price ranges. Only fruits that I can buy, because certain fruits are available, but they're like fucking $15 a fucking pound. And I'm not going to spend that much on fucking fruit, all right?
That's how much it is.
It really is, because it's all imported from like Mexico and US and shit like that. So
I guess it's pretty far to import it all the way over there.
Yeah. So the only fruit that's like cheap available here is banana, apples, and pears, and that's the only thing I eat. But in India, bro, I ate fucking papaya. I drank coconut water every single fucking day, like fresh coconut off the tree water. Fucking grapes every single day on my plate. Mangoes. Fucking, have you heard of the fruit lychee?
I haven't tried it. I've heard of it though.
Mate, there's so much fruit available in India. I actually didn't want to.
I feel like it's like real food too. Like you're only eating like real food. Like it's not processed like the US. That's what I don't like about the US. Is like everything I'm eating, even if it's like a healthy food, that's a healthy food. Usually it's like most of them are processed.
Yeah, I've never really heard about the fucking seedless watermelons. But now I do, and I'm like, wait, what? That's a thing? Like,
hear about everything here. Anything's possible.
Seedless watermelons, and I'm like, how much fucking chemical did you need to put in that thing to be able to grow without a fucking seed?
No idea. Don't even want to think about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
How cheap are the meals out in India? Like, you can get like a good meal for like
a good, decent, like full, healthy meal would be, including fruit and everything, would be like fucking 200 rupees, 250 rupees. And that? I don't know, like $3.
That's what I gotta do. That's the move. I gotta move to India for like a month and just bulk up there.
Bro, you can eat so much food in India and you'll get fat soon as well. If you just eat out, because the thing is, like, even if you eat out, it's all like homemade food. Like they don't like process it in machines. They actually physically cook it.
I know. That's why it would be like so good too. Yeah. It would taste good.
And you just
I want to go to India. It's just like so far.
It's, bro, you've been to Europe already. India's like one flight away.
I know. It's not cheap to get there though. Like with Europe, like you go there and then I stay there for 6 months and then go back.
Yeah.
But India would be like I don't know. It would be cool probably to live there for like a month. That'd be an interesting
It
experience.
really wouldn't be, because it's the first month is a culture shock. Like after a month, you actually start to enjoy shit.
That's true, actually. You're 100% right there.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 2-week vacation. 2-week vacation.
If you want to do that, just might as well go to a coastal area and just live on a beach, to be honest. Because 2 weeks in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, mate, you will go crazy. You're like, why are there so many people everywhere? Everyone's honking. It's mad.
I think it would be interesting for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. You also know like the environment a lot better than I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, unless if you just want to go and have that culture shock, then yeah, 2 weeks would be fine. But if you really want to put the culture shock aside and be like, okay, this happens on a daily, this is normal. What can I experience other than that? That's what happens when you live more than a month there.
Yeah. I would need like a local to like show me around or something.
Oh, bro.
That would be.
Oh, people love Indian people are so good at that, bro. I can tell you, like, it's not even like joking or anything. I think it's a fact that Indian hospitality is the best out there. It really is. I can compare.
I've seen like some YouTubers just go there and
people are
not like typical YouTubers. It's like the guys like, have you ever seen those channels like where they just go to countries and
just travel?
Just, like, walk?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Kurt Kaz or something, but I
don't know.
He didn't go to India. He went to Pakistan, but
yeah.
He was just like, everyone seemed so nice.
Yeah,
maybe it's because he was white though. I don't know how many white people show up.
That's a different conversation too.
That's what I was thinking too. But
yeah. So you've mentioned, I don't know if it's true or not, but you're half Indian, half German, right?
Yeah.
So your mother's side is Indian or your father's side is Indian?
My father is Indian. My mom's German.
Where in India is your father?
He's never been to India.
He's never been to India.
He was born in Kenya, and he lived there up until he was, I think he was like 9, and then he moved to the UK, and he lived in the UK up until end of university.
Right. So he's a UK citizen as well, or he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a UK passport.
You actually do?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, you got a free fucking travel pass to half of the world, mate. Why
not? I'm blessed.
You can literally spin the globe, touch on a country, and be like, this is where I'm going. And you won't need a visa.
It is nice. It is nice. I think I take it for granted, to be honest.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine, man. If you have a privilege, then why not fucking use it, innit?
But yeah, he was born in Kenya. He hasn't been in yet, but we want to go sometime. I think he's Gujarat. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay.
What does that mean?
No,
Tell me.
That's weird. So Gujarat is a state, and the people live there are called Gujaratis, and it is kind of common knowledge that they're probably the most hated community in India.
Really?
Because they're so business minded. They bring money in everything.
That's funny.
They bring money in everything. So
that's actually really funny.
And have you heard of the last name Patel?
Yeah. I've seen that name so many times. That's where it comes from?
That's Gujarati, yeah. So if you ever see an Indian person on a gas station named Patel, that's your brother right there.
They're the ones that are always trying like a bargain of price.
Yep. They will not lose a penny, mate. I'll give you that. They will not lose a penny.
That sounds familiar. That's funny. I'm gonna tell my dad after.
Yeah, but no, Gujarati food banks though. I mean, I'm a Punjabi, yeah. So I live in northern India. I'm from Punjab. Hence this bracelet, which is a stereotype. I don't know why I did that. It has a completely different meaning. But yeah, we take pride in our food because Punjabi food, it bangs. But Gujarati food is pretty up there as well. Like it's amazing.
I bet all the food in India is just like pretty good.
I'd say the healthiest is the South Indian food. Like it's pretty well known that South Indians, they eat a lot of rice, but they still stay shredded. Like it's almost like Asian food. But like they're mostly farmers, so their whole diet is rice based, but it's also like very fermented rice, so it doesn't affect you as much as
so like less oils and stuff.
Less
like they don't. Like they don't make, not with the rices. I'm saying like they don't add too many like oils in their dishes.
No. and it's also a pretty coastal area, so they eat a lot of fish and other stuff as well. So, but South Indian food is
Now you're
probably,
making me want to go to India just to see what it's like.
bro. If you would go, I'd say just go for food, because yeah,
That's what I want to go for now. I'm hungry now. I'm trying to eat.
and the street food.
That's what I want to try is the street
How do
food.
you think I got that big? It was nothing but the street food.
Bro, I need that. I need that so bad now.
I'm sorry. At this point, I'm just promoting India. I'm sorry, guys.
He's an ambassador for India.
No, but yeah. Okay. Went on a
Go back to
fucking tangent.
Nah, that was a good conversation. I liked it.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about food in Vienna. How's that? Because I think European food has a bit of culture and tradition too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Even Italy and Vienna.
Yeah.
I think Italy, the food was a little bit better because
Yeah.
I went to a cafeteria, the school cafeteria every day.
Yeah.
That was like some of the best food I've ever had, to be honest. I would look forward to that every day, just eating at that cafeteria. But the quality is so much higher, like the US. That's what I love about Europe.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about Europe, I love so many things about Europe compared to the US.
Yeah.
And I like some of the things about US more. Obviously, I can't have the best of both worlds, but
Yeah.
Europe is just like the food is less processed. It just feels so much more real with like flavor.
Right.
I actually met this like Italian girl here once, and she was saying like, because she was studying abroad in the US, and she was like, all the food here is so bland. It has like no taste.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's definitely so much better in Europe. I couldn't disagree with her.
So like Italy is big on like pasta and pizza and stuff like that, right? And do like
Yeah,
how's the quality of the foods there? Like do people still get fat eating those? Because I'm pretty sure like they're high in very high in calories and stuff like that, right?
yeah, that's what like I've seen posts on that too. Like
Yeah.
those pages I follow, like
Yeah.
they eat the same things as Americans. Like they'll eat pizza and pasta and drink alcohol every day, but the Europeans stay slim and Americans get fat.
It's weird. But that's the thing. I think they make pizza and pasta at home though, right? Like they need the dough and everything. They make pasta for like
Yeah, they make it. It's like a real, like actual
cooking.
like they don't just like what's it called.
But
I don't even know.
You buy a box of fucking pasta and you just shove it in the fucking cooler or something like that.
Yeah, they don't just like nuke a fucking pizza and eat that in like the US. I can only eat like Italian pizza now. I can't like for me it's hard to eat American type of pizza.
Right. Did you go to Naples when you were in Italy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to that one place that like has the best pizza in the world? I've seen like videos on it.
I don't know if I went to that place, but we were staying in this Airbnb.
Yeah.
And there was a pizza place like 3-minute walk away, and we went there every night for 3 nights. We had pizza. We had like 2 pizzas a day. It was like crazy. I couldn't have pizza after that for like 2 months.
But that must be amazing, all right?
It was so good, yeah.
Yeah. And they use like real like cheeses and stuff like that. Like their cheeses aren't processed that much, are they?
Yeah. The cheeses are it's just like mozzarella.
Yeah.
Mozzarella balls. That's how I eat. That's the type of pizza I like now.
Oh, like just like a ball, like shredded, not like.
I like the like. Yeah, I haven't seen them make it, but I'm assuming they just cut it up.
Yeah.
And put it on the pizza. It's not just covered in pizza. Like you can.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's the type of pizza I like.
Right.
It just feels so much healthier.
Right. No, that's amazing. So I'm gonna revert back to the time that you were in. Sorry, I'm reverting back to so many fucking things. By the way, I'm new to this shit. But yeah, so you said you were in Vienna and you were going through like your mentally was like a hard period. So like, what happened then? Because I want to know like how you mentally cope up with these things. So if you don't mind me asking.
It's a good topic because I don't think I've talked about. Oh, I actually made a video. It sounds like I'm promoting my channel, but I made a video. It was like a 30-minute. I was just like talking to the camera.
Right.
At the time, because I was super pessimistic, and some of the comments were like talking to me. They're like saying like you're being so negative about it, which because at the time I was like in such a bad state that I was just thinking about like everyone that's in a bad state. They're just thinking about the worst that can happen, and it's because I got there early. I got there in June, and the teams didn't start training until July. So I was there and I didn't start university until like August. So I was there doing nothing, just from June to July. I was just in my room, and I also wasn't living in the center of Vienna. The apartment I had for those first few weeks was like on the outskirts. Like it was in the middle of nowhere. I think that town that I was staying in was built like 2 years before I got there. So it was completely new. It was a bunch of families living there, kind of just like the middle of nowhere. And I was just there. I would go to the same pizza place every day to have pasta. It was super depressing. I just had nothing to do all day. And
your school hadn't started then. Yeah.
nah, it didn't start till August. And that's why I just got into like this rut.
Yeah.
And it was super hard to get out of it. But I think that's when I grew so like the most I ever have as a person, to be honest, living in Vienna.
Right.
Because I was on my own.
Right. So how did you cope up with that? Just like making videos or training?
It was hard to make the videos, to be honest. Like it was hard to do anything at that point. Like I just didn't want to do anything. And then when I was on YouTube and I was scrolling through Instagram and watching YouTube videos all day, and I knew in my head I was like, this is just a waste of time. Like, why am I doing this? But I couldn't think of anything else better to do, which was like horrible. So to get out of it, honestly, I think it just came with like the practices starting and getting back into a routine. So I was still like kind of not feeling good. I didn't know anyone there. It was kind of felt really weird, and it was just all over the place. But it lasted a while. I'd say I just got used to it at some point, living on my own.
Right.
It's like the culture shock thing. Also, like you said, like after a month, I just got used to it. So
yeah.
And then it's funny because with Italy, I kind of wanted to go back home and visit my family because it'd been a while since I'd seen them. But in Vienna, like after the 6 months, I was like kind of disappointed to leave. Like I wanted to stay there. I liked it so much that I've made like some good friends, and I was like,
was it like a pretty small city, or was it like an actual like big city with like a downtown and shit like that?
It has downtown, but compared, like there are big cities in Europe, like London, Paris, Barcelona. Those are like actual like really big cities. But it's famous, but it's like very compact.
Right.
Everything can be found in like maybe a 4-mile radius.
Right.
So it's pretty. That's what I liked a lot about it, is you could just go walk anywhere.
Right. That's amazing. So did you travel outside the city in those 2 months that you didn't study for, or were you staying in Vienna and just coping up with, like you said, first month was just fucking culture shock, but like after that, did you actually start traveling and shit, or you just stayed?
That's one of the things that I did to make sure, like to give myself something to do for the day. It was like I think €3, which is like $3, to just go to a different country, Slovakia. There was like a train I could take. There was like €3 for that day. So I was like, whatever, I'm gonna just go there and experience something new, because I needed to go do something to get my mind off of just doing nothing. So I went there. Then I also went to watch Liverpool played Salzburg, which is like a 2-hour train ride. So I went out there just to try to get my mind off of stuff, and it kind of helped. It was cool. Like traveling, you have to be really focused on what you're doing, like being organized with yourself. So it gave me something to do and be busy, which is, I think, where, like, in my opinion, like mental health issues really, a lot of the time, or not all mental health issues, but like feeling anxiety or like just being down, which I had the anxiety because I was just thinking about the future and stuff. I don't really have it anymore, but it all comes down to, what's it called?
Being idle.
Yeah, just like not doing anything. Just sitting down. And I realized that, and I still do it sometimes, but I don't get like anxiety anymore if I just sit down. I'm like a lot more in control of my mind now. I think it does come from just standing.
I still struggle a bit with that. I'm not gonna lie, I really do, because like it's on the days it's on the rest days, to be honest. It's on the fucking when your body needs rest, but your mind's like, fuck, we're not doing anything today.
Yeah, I feel that. So then you got to think about, like, the rest is also helping you. Like by resting, you're working. That's how I try to think about it. You're not necessarily working, but like you're letting your body like
heal.
Put in the work for you, like, and remembering everything, getting your muscles fixed and stuff. So that, to me, like, it's considered work, and it's as important as like getting the sessions in.
Right. And if you don't mind me asking about, like, expenses and stuff. So like, how do you handle that when you study abroad? Do you work here in the U.S. first, save money, and then travel abroad, or your parents pay for it, or do you get scholarships? Like, how does that work? If you don't mind me asking.
My parents were covering it. They say before college they saved up just like a thing on the side for my college
Right.
expenses and stuff.
Right.
So I had like YouTube money also. I would usually use that for like
Baller.
it's not
Balling.
it's not, it's not a lot. Like it wasn't a lot, but I would use that for like some fun stuff if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
a lot of it was just like there's money that they had saved up on the side for me,
Right.
and they want me to like study abroad because they know how much you learn from
Just
just
staying.
like living in a new environment.
Yeah. Staying on your own. So here in the US, do you still live with your parents, or have you moved out and shit? Because I think that's a big concept here in this part of the world, right? Like people move out very early on from their parents' house, right?
Yeah, I don't think that like in India that you don't really do that, right?
No. You
You stay with your family.
staying with our family, yeah.
Yeah, but I like in the summer. This summer I'm here with them. I'm here for the summer,
Right.
and then during the school year I'm not
Okay.
because I live in a completely different city. It's like a 9-hour drive.
To your parents' house.
Yeah.
Even still now.
No, no, I'm in the house right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like at my university is like
Oh.
I drive down 9 hours to San Diego.
Do you have a hostel there, or do you actually drive up and down every fucking?
No. I'm living with some friends.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's nice.
I gotta go to class
Yeah.
every day.
So
So
in Europe, did you do any like part-time work, or did you just study and just play the whole time?
study and play.
Study and play. Are you allowed to work since you like
Yeah.
a passport or something?
Oh, I could, yeah, because I got a German passport, so I could work.
Right.
But actually, I did get an offer from one of the coaches for the team I was playing with.
Yeah.
He was asking me if I wanted to like just do some coaching on the side.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it.
Right.
So the only money I was making was from YouTube.
And that covered like, so how did your like food and all the traveling, was that covered in your like parents' fund, or did you actually
Yeah,
use that YouTube money?
that was the money they saved up.
Oh, okay.
One of the YouTube videos actually did kind of get a lot of views though.
Right.
And then goes on one of my game highlights,
Right.
which I didn't expect at all. So I got some extra money from that, but I was just happy for the stuff.
No,
To be honest.
that's amazing. I'll segue with that into the social media thing. It's like, how did that start? And like, how did you start YouTube? And I think you were posting on TikTok before YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, so I can go back a long time. I don't know. How'd you find out about me?
I found out about you from YouTube, and I can't remember which video it was. But then after that, it's been on a repeat.
Yeah. No, I started like a long time ago. You probably don't even know any of this. But like I told you, I was trying to get on Free Kicker's top 5 free kicks of the week. That was back in middle school, so I was like 13.
Yeah.
I would post videos. I have an old channel. I don't know how many people know about it. But I had that channel.
Link it. Let people know.
Nah, it's a secret. Only people can find it if they want. But when I hit 100K, then maybe I'll post a video from one of those. But
Yeah.
I started that one. I did that one for like a year, and then I started an Instagram page. This is where everything really went like crazy. Is I started that page,
Right.
and I was doing Instagram all up through high school, or I think 8th grade until 12th grade, so like 4 years.
Yeah.
And all through high school, I grew to like 200K followers.
Yeah.
I was just doing Instagram, and then when I went to Italy, I stopped doing Instagram.
Yeah.
And I started doing TikTok because TikTok was popular at the time.
Yeah.
So I was just making TikTok videos because I knew I could just easily grow on there. And then I realized I don't want to use either of these apps anymore because they're just mentally draining.
Right.
And I don't want to just the fan base I wanted to develop. I didn't want them to be people that are just like addicted to like quick content and stuff. My main goal the whole time, to be honest, was to get my following to YouTube, which I have now.
Yeah.
It's not obviously as big as I want. I'm trying to get that 100K plaque so bad. But
It's a grind.
You know how hard that is when you don't clickbait your titles or videos. It's like impossible to get that. But in my head, so ever since then, I deleted or I stopped posting on Instagram and TikTok and just focused on YouTube. But in my head, I'm like trying to find a way to get this 100K by
Yeah.
doing it ethically, and it's just like,
Ethically, I love how you say that.
bro, it's like impossible.
It is a grind, bro. Tell me, I haven't even fucking broken 1,000 subs yet, mate. I've been doing it for 6 years.
Yeah,
So.
it's not easy. It's not.
But
Well, I think the hardest part is getting that first 1,000.
yeah,
And then,
especially when you don't do the fucking clickbait thingy.
bro, tell.
But
I
yeah,
got lucky to build a fan base up, and not lucky I worked, but like
yeah,
to have this fan base I have now,
yeah,
it did take a lot of time, and I don't realize how lucky I am. I keep saying lucky, but I worked for it. But
I
I
mean,
hate the word lucky because I don't really believe in luck most of the time.
yeah,
I worked for it. It's just crazy how I have like all these YouTube subscribers now. When
right,
I don't, I didn't ever imagine actually having YouTube subscribers like
right,
this.
right. So, like, did you always think of going into social media with a, with a mindset of, okay, I wanna take it somewhere, or did you just post whatever the fuck you wanted and it just grew automatically?
That's what, like, the first. I think everyone has to start it like for
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
When I was in middle school, I was making videos for fun, like doing freestyle videos and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I started off for fun, and then on Instagram, I just wanted to go viral, to be honest, because I knew I could.
Yeah,
Or actually, I had this one fail clip where I was trying to do an around the world, and I fell on my ass, and
yeah,
that one went viral. So I was like, "Oh, it's that easy." And then and I liked being creative, like doing creative ideas to get views.
right.
So I would just do that, and I think I was having a lot of fun until more recently with YouTube. I would say I wasn't really having fun uploading. I would just upload to upload, and it's hard. It was hard to upload videos, and now I'm trying to get back into like making videos, which I personally enjoy. And this is what goes back to like trying to hit 100K. I'm trying to hit 100K, like, so that in the future I'm proud of how I actually did it. Like, I'm trying not
Yeah,
to upload any shorts.
right.
I was so tempted to upload shorts because I could get subscribers from that. I don't want to upload shorts. I want to like I'm so tempted to clickbait just to get views, and like I want to do it as like authentically as possible.
Like traditional YouTube, how it was before MrBeast fucking changed it. Sorry, MrBeast.
Yeah, I think even then it was still like clickbait, but he did make it like extreme.
Yeah, because I still remember like those YouTubers that talked back in the day were like, "Oh, we don't want to be like these big production houses. We don't want it to be like Netflix." Are doing the exact same thing that they fucking didn't want to do back then. Right now,
Yeah, I respect MrBeast though. He's a genius, but I just don't like the content. You can't disagree that he's like a genius. Like, you can't get 1 million subscribers.
he
100.
is, he is, but at the same time, he's also very good at outsourcing stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to do that well.
yeah, but like it's actually a skill because I'm starting my own business and it's very hard to like know who's a decent person that can get your job done and better
Yeah, you
than
have to
what you
trust
can do.
them.
Yeah,
Hard to find people that you can trust.
yeah, that's the hardest thing to do. And like I get it, he's a genius and all, but mate, like if you have 100 people running their brain at the one problem that you have,
Well, I don't think it just started from. He had to build up something to.
that's true. That's true. I'm not denying his work. I'm just saying. I'm
I
just
just
saying.
I
Yeah.
just respect him. I
Oh,
respect
I
him,
do
man.
too. I do too. Yeah. Because
Even though his content is like very dangerous for attention spans, but
oh yeah, it's been like that. But like I respect the hustle he put in back in the day. Have you
yeah,
seen these fucking 24 hours saying Logan Paul videos,
yeah,
man?
he's so. How disciplined do you have to be to do that? That's crazy.
Yeah. Not even this. It's just that level of fucking crazy. Like nobody came up with that shit back in the day, man. Like why would you go, okay, I'm gonna stare at the wall for 13 hours. No, nobody in their right mind would do it. And even if they do it, like they're always gonna think, who the fuck is gonna watch this shit?
Yeah, who would? That's what I was thinking. But then I ended up clicking on. I think that's how I found out about him.
Yeah.
It was like his video counted to 100,000, and I just clicked on. I clicked on it, and I like, went into like the middle of the video. I just wanted to see like
If he's still
how
counting
many.
or not.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just interested, and I clicked off. But like he got my view, so it worked.
And you watched the whole video to see if he actually finished 100,000 or not. Like
Well, I
even if
didn't
you,
watch. I
if you
just
skipped past it, but you still watched it.
It still counts. It's like, yeah.
It still counts as watch time. So yeah. That's where he's genius. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Guy's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so coming back to your YouTube, so like, what are your plans with that? Like, do you want to just keep continuing as you're doing, or you want to switch it up to more? Because I know you started introducing more vlog style content in your YouTube now, right?
Yeah, I'm retiring. I'm just kidding.
You're retired.
I'm retiring when I hit 100K.
Retire at 30, balling.
Yeah. I do want to implement more vlogs.
Yeah.
But coming with vlogs, you got to come with the clickbait thumbnails. You know what I hate about my channel? Not necessarily hate, because the videos are good.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like making the same training videos all the time. I like uploading. I want to upload like some new content and just make creative videos. I have some ideas, but I need other people to be in the video with me to do the ideas I'm thinking of. So in terms of future plans,
Do you have any set, not even plans, any set direction you want to take this thing to, other than the 100K?
That's the only goal. That's my goal right now.
Besides the numbers, my brother. Like, okay, so like, what kind of content do you want to produce? Like, do you want it to be all solo, or do you want to have like a team or shit like that?
Oh no, solo. I like people have asked me if they can edit my videos for me, but that's like my favorite part is editing the videos. And then also I just want to make authentic content and find like an audience that is striving to be their best selves. I think what I'm really trying to do right now is just find a group of people. How do I word it? Like finding the right group of people that watch my videos, like building the right audience of people, and then being myself through the videos. So like I'm not being fake to build the audience. Building an audience that really like relates to what I'm like trying to first what's it say? Show and portray in my videos.
Okay, that makes sense. But I feel like you're doing a very good job at that.
Yeah, it's just hard to build the audience because I'm not clickbaiting.
Yeah, but when you think about it, though, I think that's how you let yourself down, because that's how I fell out of love with fucking making YouTube videos back in the day as well, like a couple of years ago. Because I was thinking of, how can I make people watch me, or like, how can I make people relate me? But you can't. If you just, what you're doing right now is you're going perfectly. I know it's the speed is slow, and I relate to that. But at the same time, you're literally just portraying your true self. Like I said,
I was gonna say that answers the question that you were asking. Like, what direction do I want to go in? Like in the past, I was making videos more for like the audience, but now I want to make videos like which I'm like happy with. A lot of the times, I was just doing it for like I know what the people in the comments want. Like they want to see these types of videos, but I've gotten to the point where it's like I just get disappointed like if I'm making a video for someone else rather than just doing it like what I want to do personally.
Right. And do you think like because I'm in the same trade as you, only on a much smaller scale, like making videos. I've been doing this, so you've been doing this as well, so I relate what you're talking about. But like, do you think when you say you want to make videos that you're proud of, do you 100% fully stand behind that? Because I know whoever's making videos, and I can speak it for all YouTubers, whoever's making videos, in the back of their head, even just 1%, they're always thinking, will it get views or not? Because say if you make a video that you're really proud of tomorrow and it got like 4 views, would you still be happy with it?
Yeah, that is a tough question. Because I think like even my last video, I uploaded it to get views. Even though I liked the video, I made the title and the thumbnail an assumption that it was going to get a lot of views because it had that style of video. It has gotten views in the past, so I thought, oh, this video is going to get views. But yeah, it is hard because I want people to appreciate my style of like my work and all the work I put in. I don't want like five people when I have 50,000 subscribers, so I can get a lot more people's attention from my videos.
Right.
So it would hurt me if I do it in the wrong way.
Right.
So it's a hard question to answer, to be honest.
Yeah. And what do you think? Like, how do you think any YouTuber, take me for an example? Fuck, if I was to take tips from you, because well, I definitely can. But like, how would I change the way I do things? So like, how would I? Because yes, obviously we all think that is this gonna get views or not. But how would we make that weird balance between, okay, I like this, and if this get views, great. If this doesn't get views, it's fine still. How do we get that? Or do you even think about that?
I think about it, but I think that's exactly the problem I have.
Yeah.
It's just like you kind of sacrifice one or the other most of the time.
Right.
If you want to get views, you have to sacrifice your authenticity. And the type of style we're going for, it's not easy to get views.
Yeah.
And I could easily change my title to make it more clickbaity. I was thinking about that actually. Like I was driving the car yesterday. I was like thinking about maybe like the next video, I'm just gonna clickbait it just to see what happens.
Yeah.
But then I could end up getting like subscribers that I don't want to have, and it would just disappoint me in the future. So
yeah, but like, how do you know that you don't want them? What if those subscribers?
They could
Okay,
change.
what if you make one clickbaity video, those subscribers come, they watch your earlier videos, they relate to you, they're like, oh fuck, this guy's pretty authentic, and they actually stay, and then you're like, oh shit, they're actually real people who enjoy what I do. What then?
Yeah. That's where it's tough because I think I do the same thing because sometimes I'll click on clickbaity videos,
Yeah.
then I'll learn about the person more, and I'll be like, oh, this guy's actually like, he's not trying to be clickbaity, you know what I mean? Like he's actually a good person,
Right.
but he's not feeding into my dopamine. He doesn't want to do that. He seems like a good person. It's just hard to. For me, it would be more of a burden on me than like the actual viewer.
Right.
I'd be like, damn, I feel like I shouldn't have done it like that. I shouldn't have got my follower like that.
Right.
I've been stuck at like the same subscriber level for like the last 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, how sucky. Only 6 months, huh?
Well, I'm saying because now it sounds bad. Now
3 fucking years. I'm sorry.
I'm saying it because I should be like I have a higher subscriber, so I should like someone should find me for my 5 million videos I made. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
my videos get more views. It's hard. It's a hard topic, but
yeah. But like, okay, talk about that. What kind of tips would you give me? Because you're pretty big. Like I gotta admit, like 50,000 is no joke, mate. It's half a fucking 1 lakh in India, but like you don't have that fucking measurement. But yeah, 50,000 is a big fucking number for people to be subscribed to your YouTube channel. So like, what kind of tips would you give to someone, some low level shit like me?
Yeah, I think you might have to like sacrifice your authenticity at the start as much as like you don't want to, or you could. There's also like a way to build followers through that, but I think you need to repurpose your content from like all the videos you make on YouTube, or if you're making videos on TikTok, share them on like every platform.
Right.
And just like get your videos out there because people will find it eventually, and then people will subscribe. You just got to get them everywhere. That's what I'm trying to do actually. I'm trying to post this like I'll just like make clips of my YouTube videos. I made this page on TikTok and I'll just post them. I'll post like one in the morning, then one at night.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll get views, maybe they won't, but you only know if you try. So
that's what I've been doing. That's why I downloaded TikTok recently. I've just been because of the podcast as well. I kind of wanted to get like certain clips of this podcast out there because I think like I always wanted to do podcasts, so it's been like a very fascinating concept to me, anyways. So now that I started, I'm like, fuck it, why not put it everywhere you can? So that's
I should say something clickbaity right now.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Nah, I don't know what I could say.
Say something controversial. U.S. footballers talk shit about Indian football. How about that?
It's got to be one of those like the videos that I've noticed get attention are like the question word ones. It's like, why you need to do this? How you can get this? Like those types of videos.
Yeah.
So I would have to say some shit like that.
I'll title it how to get big on YouTube. How about that? Nah, that doesn't work, to be honest. That doesn't work these days. So there
are a lot of people that are aspiring to grow, so people would click on that probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would click on like people. The thing with people nowadays is they want like an easy answer, a short answer.
Yeah.
So if it's a podcast and you title it like that, I don't think people would click on it.
Right. Yeah. But like, so talking about social media, do you how do you value like short form content? So like, do you view it purely as okay, it's a means for people to get over to my actual like videos, or do you actually like value it as an actual form of content?
It depends how you do it. Like I'm doing it right now. I'm just taking clips.
Yeah.
I think that type of content will hopefully bring viewers to my YouTube. But if you're doing completely different types of videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, I don't think you're likely to bring the followers over. I don't know how many subscribers I've gotten from TikTok, to be honest.
Right.
I think people on TikTok, the thing with that is like they usually just like to stay on TikTok and they just prefer the short form content over YouTube videos. That's why uploading like clips from YouTube videos, they're more likely to maybe go to your YouTube channel because they see a snippet and then they're excited to see the whole thing.
Right.
That's the only way I'm thinking about it, but I don't.
And do you look at like YouTube statistics as well? Like when you're making a video, do you consider like what like, because I know a lot of people are very big these days on what's it called, click-through rate or whatever the fucking thing is. Like I never really looked at that because I don't have enough people to, make an actual graph out of. But like, do you actually look at that shit when you work on your next video and be like, okay, this is what people like, this is what they didn't like, so I'm going to change it up? Or do you just, when you go into making a video, essentially, what do you think of?
Yeah, I don't. I know people think about that. Like, I think the most important things I heard about are how long people watch your video and the view count.
Yeah.
But I don't really pay attention to. I think about it when I upload. Like, I'll be like, oh, how long do people actually watch the video for? Because it shows it.
Yeah.
But I don't let it like I think that comes back to like that would probably mess with you if you're trying to make videos that you really want to make and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but to get subscribers, if you're actually like trying to throw away your authenticity and just get subscribers, then
What do you mean when you say authenticity? What
like being making videos for yourself and like being yourself.
But like, if you're making videos for yourself, that's the thing. That's a basic question. If you're making videos for yourself, might as well keep in your camera roll. Why put it on a social media for other people?
Yeah, that is true. I meant like.
So like,
now you're testing me.
I'm not testing. I'm sorry if that.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, like, because I always wonder about it. Like when people say, "Oh, I want to do this shit for myself," like, okay, keep it on your camera roll. Because if you're putting it out there for people to see, you're kind of catering to their needs a little bit on some level.
I think for me, I want to also build an audience, but I also, at the same time as building the audience, I want to make videos that aren't, by being authentic, I mean making videos. This is authenticity. Also, I have this phrase that I made up called "life is an opinion," because everything is opinionated. Like for me, authenticity might be something, for you it might be something else. So let's say for me, authenticity is making videos where people aren't just thinking about what's going on, a cut every second, and building the trust with the viewer that these clips are real, showing the mistakes in my training, just being myself, not showing a fake personality that a lot of people do. So to me, authenticity is just like something like that, where I'm not showcasing a fake person. Whereas to some people, maybe being authentic is being super energetic and
being super corny or whatever personality.
Yeah, that could be themselves, but I think you'll find the people that you need to. It might take a minute.
That's amazing. And well, it has worked for you so far.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I think ever since I've been like authentic and being myself and doing the style I want, I think it hasn't really got the views I've wanted.
That's where, as a viewer, I differ. Because I think, okay, this is where you're actually gonna get the insight of the other side. Because I watch your videos. Yeah. Like, yes, you comments, and there's always comments, but like, oh, this is fire. Every KG video is a banger or whatever, something like that, right?
Those are the bots. Those are the bots commenting.
But like, as a viewer, you think that you just started being authentic, but if I open a video 4 years ago from you when you were in Vienna or when you were in Italy, you're still pretty authentic because
That's true.
you like obviously you can see growth, which happens with everybody. You can see change, which happens over the years naturally with any human being. But even now, not necessarily you're not necessarily putting on a personality to cater to other people's needs. You turn on you still have that fucking monotonic voice. You're like, you still say shit. I saw in that one video where you were running uphills on the beach, like doing training. It was pretty recent. And you just said something and you're like, I don't know why I fucking said it. It's not true. And you just went on these random train of thoughts. That's nothing but authentic. Most people would cut that fucking part out because you just send some gibberish, essentially. But you putting that in is you just being authentic, and you did that back in the day too.
That's true. I don't really think about it like that, to be honest. It's good to hear that because when I probably would look back at the Italy video, I think like the day in the life, I think it is more authentic than I really think it is, because right now I'm more conscious of it. But over time, people don't change that much. Like my core values, I pretty much stayed the same. I've always tried to be like very true to myself, and I value truth a lot. So I think it'll continue to be that way.
Right.
But that's interesting to hear like that.
No, yeah, definitely. So that's why I asked you, because when you say, "Oh, I'm trying to be authentic," or I'm not trying to be clickbaity. Like being clickbaity is just one aspect of YouTube. Which if you're putting stuff on YouTube, you kind of want it to have some attention, and to grab the attention, you got to play the game a little bit. But when you actually click on the video, I can see a person who is, well, one, natural in front of the fucking camera. You're pretty fucking natural when you talk to the camera. Bro, to this day, if I turn on the camera in public, I still get anxious that two people are looking at me.
No, I do that too. Well, I've also gotten to the point where I've gotten better at that, where I don't give a shit. Usually I'll try to record where there's no one near me, though, because some people will be kind of annoyed about it, but I don't really care anymore. It's like, whatever. I'm never going to see these people again.
NPCs, isn't it?
Now they got their own lives, but like,
bro, I know there's a running meme in my friend group. We just call people NPCs. Like everybody just running here and there, like fucking NPCs, isn't it? But yeah, coming back to your video. So yeah, you're just, when you say you try to be authentic, mate, just don't try, because you actually are. Because like when you do this shit, like that's how I've always viewed this. When you do something for this long and you do it kind of consistently, it's very hard to put up a persona. It's very hard.
I think I would hate myself if I did.
Yeah. And that's why guys like MrBeast and all that shit, like that's why I make a comparison between before MrBeastification of YouTube and after. Because before it was a guy turning on camera. Yes, they would be a bit corny because it's a new thing. You're talking to a fucking camera, not a person. But it's also, you can't be someone else for that long. And how MrBeast does it is like, he doesn't make videos, he makes movies. So he hires people, he gives them roles to act, they edit, and they put it out. But when you're doing it solo, you're just taking your thoughts out of your brain and onto the fucking camera. And that's what authenticity is.
Yeah, that goes back to my training. I just don't plan anything. Well, I plan like what I'm gonna do. Like you're talking about the sand one. Like I knew I was going there. I just didn't know. I had no idea what I was gonna say. I was just like, the only videos I do like kind of script are like the how to improve as an athlete or something, because I need to write it down to remember like what I'm gonna say. But when it comes to those vlogging ones, I have no idea what I'm gonna say. I just show up there. I'm like, I put the camera on, and I'm like, all right, I'll say that, but that's all.
How do you decide what to keep in, what to cut out?
I'll usually,
in terms of what you say, not like obviously you're gonna cut out shit that you just don't talk, but like in terms of what you say to the camera, how do you decide?
I usually just I'll keep in things that I think provide either entertainment or value. Otherwise, if it's like me waffling about some pointless thing, I won't keep it in. Like a lot of the times, actually in the Nike video that I filmed recently, I was just sitting at the table talking to the camera, and I realized like people probably won't care about this. Maybe some people will. Honestly, if I look back in the future, I don't think I would care about what I'm saying either. So
yeah,
I'll just cut it out.
But I watched that video through and through, by the way.
That video was pretty good.
I'm a weird guy. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I don't really like that snappy, high flashy stuff. I love it when a guy's just chill and he's giving his thoughts out, even if it's just waffle. You're like, yeah, man. Who doesn't fucking waffle in this world? Who has his fucking mind so straight that they talk the most sensible shit all the time?
You look weird if you do that now.
Does it look like I give a fuck?
I didn't say you. You shouldn't care. You shouldn't care what other people think.
Yeah. No, that's one thing that it took me a while. Like I say, I'd still get kind of anxious that a couple people are fucking looking at me when I make a video.
Yeah, I've been reading. I just finished this book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if you know about it.
I know about it.
Yeah, you know,
I've heard, but I haven't read it yet.
It was really good. It kind of changed my mindset on a lot of things. Just living in the moment and also just not caring as much about what other people think. So it has changed my mindset a lot.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
Is it based on Stoicism or something?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't the main premise of Stoicism that everyone's gonna die, so just do whatever the fuck? No,
pretty much. That's like a lot of the concepts in the book.
Yeah. How do you view death? Sorry, we're getting a bit deep.
Going deep. No, it goes back to the book. It's like you can't really avoid something that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the main thing that they say in the book. It's like, don't fear something that's bound to happen. That's the only thing we're guaranteed that's going to happen in life.
Yeah.
And it depends how you also view like higher powers and stuff like that. But I don't like getting political or anything. So
political, religious, just stay clear from people.
I like saying, because I think a lot of people get annoying about it. I'm like really open-minded. I think I come at everything like from a third-person view. I usually just like spectate, and I kind of just enjoy watching stuff and learning. Like
you watch your own life in third person as well?
No. Well, technically I do if I watch my videos.
Yeah.
But that is kind of weird to think about. Like I'm watching myself in the past. Like, I'm editing my video, I'm like watching what I did.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, but
you find things about yourself, right? Like when you look back at yourself doing something, you're like, wait, do I do this regularly? Like, do I actually do this consciously, or what the fuck am I doing? Right?
I got to the point where I kind of mindlessly edit now. Like I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. I've just gone to the point where I'm like, all right, that's who I am as a person. Whatever happens. I just need to realize that I need to be less monotone now.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Nah.
Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm not like. We'll see. You'll see in the next video.
My man, my guy's already planning his next video.
No, actually, I have no idea what I'm doing for the next video. I can't.
That was another question I was gonna ask. Do you actually plan out videos, or do you just turn on the camera and be like, okay, we're filming today, or do you feel like filming and you just film stuff? Like,
yeah, a lot of the training videos are just like that, but some videos I will plan out. If they involve other people, I'll usually plan them out. But most of the time, the training videos, I'll just bring my camera to the field and have no idea.
It's also a good documentary for like your own like improvement, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I can see it a lot actually. Like when I look back, if I look back like a year ago, I was so much worse than I am now. I'm so much better. That's a bad way to word it, but I got so much.
Hey, have you seen that video, bro? You're talking about being worse. You fucking hit a crossbar after a fucking around the world on a tennis ball. A man says, "I was so much worse back in the day."
No, that comes back to how many tries that took. Like that. That didn't take that long. I can't lie. That one, like sometimes with those trick shots, it's like you just get lucky. But
you recreated that one too, right? In one video.
I don't know if I
can
again.
I think you did it. Well, I mean, you couldn't do it, but like you tried to recreate it, and it was pretty fucking.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. You know my video is better than me,
brother. I'm telling you, it's a fucking fanboy moment I'm sharing right now. Shut up.
Bro,
but I do enjoy your videos very much because of the vibe. I like the vibe. It's very chill, but it's also very intense in your training. Like it's a weird combination that you put together, and it's very unique. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I wish more people would appreciate it.
You got thousands of views, mate. How
I'm
much
glad. No,
appreciation
no.
do you
I mean, like, appreciate it like you do. Like you. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they do. I haven't talked to them either, but like you actually
yeah.
like really broke it down.
I actually, yeah,
You
no. Plus, and
like you're like
that's the
in my
thing.
head, like knowing that, knowing like why I make the videos, like not clickbaity, and then also like authentic. So that's like it's making me feel better about like making the videos now.
You should. You put a lot of work into it, and that's also kind of like that's my kind of personality. I like to get. I'm really curious about how other people think. Like I see how they act, but I genuinely like from the bottom of my heart want to know why they do something they do. So I really try to like even just like observing. I'm very big into observation. So when I watch your videos, I don't just watch it like, oh, he's training. I watch your videos observing you, and I question like, oh, what the fuck might he be thinking when he did that, or when he said that, or oh, he lost his train of thought, so he's thinking about something else. So I call me an overthinker or whatever, but I really like to get inside people's heads by just observing them and not talking to them.
No, I think I'm like that too. Maybe not that extreme, but I'll really try to break down. Like if I'm watching a YouTube video, I'll be like, why did they put this part in the video? Why did they choose that type of music? Or why is that part of the shot in that corner? So I like breaking it down and like implementing the things I like from their videos into like my videos.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that made me want to talk to you. Well, not the only thing, but yeah, that really, I genuinely wanted to know you as a person because you intrigued me, mate. And I'm glad that we had this fucking talk.
That's solid.
One last fucking topic. Clothing line. Sorry, I'm bringing it at the last.
Oh, that's fine. Everyone skip to. I'm gonna comment. Everyone to skip to this time. Don't.
I'll put it in the beginning. Skip to the best part at this time.
Nah, that's always been something I wanted to do ever since high school. So there was this letter I wrote to myself in high school. I kind of want to find it now because I have my phone right here. Gotta do all
How do you even say the name of your brand? Judemont?
Judemo. French.
Judemo.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means play on words.
You play with my mind with those spellings there, boy. I gotta tell you that.
I don't think anyone knows what it means, to be honest.
You played with my whole English language with those spellings.
I'm trying to learn French. Well, okay, going back to I said, has anyone recognized you out in public? This is my freshman year of high school. Like, and what they would do is you write it your freshman year, and 4 years later, you open it at graduation. So that's funny how I wrote that. And then I also wrote, have I made an app with this other YouTuber guy? Wonder how that project on starting a clothing company is going. So I've still had that idea since freshman year. That's
grade 10.
Huh?
That's grade 10, right?
9th grade. So I was like
9th grade. You were thinking about a fucking clothing brand.
Yeah. I was big. I was like a big thinker. I also wrote in the letter, I'm like, I hope you have 20K on Instagram because I was at 10K. So I was like, I hope you have 20K on Instagram, and I hit 200K. So it shows you how much like you underestimate. I think I heard this quote like you underestimate or you overestimate what you can do in 1 year, but you underestimate what you can do in 5 years.
That is so true, mate. That is actually so fucking true.
Yeah. So, but going back to the clothing, I've always wanted to do something like that, but I've never really. It takes a lot of time and like and funding and stuff like that. So actually when I went to Paris last year was when I knew I wanted to start it, but I didn't know if I was actually going to do it. So I told myself this last year, I'm like, I'm just going to make a drop just to to tell myself I did it and then continue doing it. Cause I just enjoy being creative and I just want to do it. So just do it for myself more than anything else.
And how long did it take you for the clothing brand to actually have an idea and for it to be, come into fruition?
So many. You have no idea. Like you see like the final product and you're like, oh, you can make that t-shirt in 5 minutes. I went through, you go crazy. I think it's like a rapper making a song or anyone making a song. They probably go crazy listening to the same song 20 million different times. That's how I felt because every time I looked at a new design, I would be like, this shit looks ass. Like I'm not releasing this. And even the ones I put out, I'm not too confident about, but
they're decent.
it comes to a point where you're just like, you got to put something out to get feedback, and you're
Right.
always gonna improve. So even my brother, because I'm working with my brother on it, and he was just telling me it's good to have someone like feedback. So
Yeah.
he was telling me like, we just gotta release something, because otherwise you could just go on forever trying to make this perfect.
Right. And like, what are the behind the scenes? Because I've always been intrigued because I look at people making their merchandise and stuff. What are the behind the scenes? How do you even get started and stuff like that?
So because I was going for like, my goal is to drop like high quality
Yeah.
t-shirts. Well, I also have an idea. Up in August, I want to do like a little bit lower quality, but like higher quantity and lower pricing.
Right.
Hopefully, more people will purchase, because the
Right.
last one was kind of expensive, to be honest. I was telling my brother we should bring it down, but he didn't agree, because I need it. This goes back to I forgot what your question was. I'm just
The
ranting.
behind the scenes.
Oh,
Behind the
behind the
scenes.
scenes, yeah. That I kind of relates to what I was gonna say, because I spent like a decent amount of money going into like samples. You got to send in
Right.
samples to like manufacturers. You could do it yourself. I've tried doing it myself, and it's
Yeah.
pretty hard. That's what I'm gonna try to do for this next one.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that, trying to figure it out, because screen printing is not easy on a budget. So
Right.
I sent samples to a manufacturer, and then they send it out to me.
Samples of what your design or like the t-shirt
The
like
t-shirt, the
materials.
design on the t-shirt,
Design of the t-shirt. Okay.
so you can see where like the placement is and all that.
Right.
See how you like it. And I was going into this like with no idea. So the first
Right.
time I did it, the placement. I don't know if you saw the blue shirt I had.
I saw the which
Like the
one?
training days video, the first video. It was like the slow motion 1v1 like training thing. I was wearing a blue t-shirt, and the logo on the back was just massive. So
Right.
I learned from that mistake that the logo was just misplaced and stuff like that. So you learn a lot of little details about that,
Right.
and it's a lot of like money spent, to be honest. So it's kind of tough.
And have you found like how do you find manufacturers? Just like local in your area, or do you look for them online, like in different cities and shit like that?
Yeah, we know a friend that like he started his own clothing thing, so we hit him up, and he sent
Right.
us a guy that he
Right.
knew.
Okay. And it is. I'm imagining it's fucking racks spent into this shit.
So far, yeah, I don't think we're gonna make. That's why the t-shirts are a little bit higher price, because we've put more money in. Well, he hasn't really put money in. It's been all me, to be honest. But we put money in, um, and we're not gonna make a profit probably for like a decent amount. Like we're gonna make a profit on the shirts, but overall, like everything that's been paid for so far, we're gonna be negative. And that
Right.
might like be like that for a while until it grows.
Yeah, but that's with everything though, right? You
That's just
gotta
a
put a
business.
little bit of investment. Yeah.
You gotta invest to get something out of it.
Right. And if you don't mind me asking about the numbers, are you comfortable talking with those, or
I don't mind.
you don't mind? It's
I'll
like
be,
how much?
I gotta be transparent. No, it
It's
was
like how much does it
I
usually
spent like
cost?
1,000 on the whole process so far, but that includes like the samples, setting up Shopify, because I'm using Shopify. You gotta
Right.
set up subscription, but that lasts the whole year, so that's that's not that bad. Then you also gotta buy like a thermal printer to put on labels for like when you ship out packages, and then buy the packaging. So all that stuff, like the printer and the packaging and the subscription, like those will last a while, like a few clothing drops. But something like samples,
Yeah.
I think at the start it's gonna cost more, because I'm
Yeah.
just learning everything and buying the basic stuff.
Yeah.
So right now, gonna
So
be
like how much do you buy like a basic raw t-shirt for that you put your so that you send to the manufacturer and be like, okay, we're gonna put this fucking logo on it.
the raw t-shirts, because the one that we did for the first one, it was like 14
Yeah.
for the blank t-shirt.
Yeah.
But for the next one, we're thinking about doing like a cheaper one, which would probably be like not as high quality, but still good. That'll be like $5 without the design, and then we'll put the design on. But yeah, the last one was 14.
And you designed your own design, or you hired someone else to do it?
Photoshop. Yeah, I did everything.
You're good on Photoshop?
Yeah, I used to
That's the one thing I can't figure out, man.
I used to be on Instagram doing all these edits of soccer players in middle school.
Really?
Like Photoshop edits, yeah.
That's amazing. That's the one thing I just can't get hold of. I suck at art. I suck at any type of paintings or colors. I suck at that shit, man. I'm so bad.
I think it's like something you can learn though. Like
I
you,
don't think you can. I think you just need that brain for it. I just don't have
yeah,
it.
to an extent, but I
Yeah.
think with Photoshop you can. I learned a lot. I didn't take any classes to learn Photoshop or editing. I didn't take any classes for any of that stuff. So I learned all from YouTube videos. I would have an idea. I would search up on YouTube how to do it and hope that
Yeah.
someone has a video on it.
But that's the thing, like technical side you can learn, but the idea part, like, so when you think of designing a logo, you have a certain idea in your head. Be like, okay, this is the way I want it to go. I just don't get that. I'm not creative that way. I'm creative in like video processing and video editing because I can be like, okay, this should be the pacing. This is the theme. This is like, I'm trying to be comedic or trying to be emotional or whatever. But like in terms of still images or like designs and shit, it just, my head just doesn't open up. It's weird.
It's hard for me to imagine because I'm like, I got so many creative ideas going on up here. I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. Like I'll just go on Pinterest and roll. Well, you can get inspiration anywhere, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like probably like if you watch YouTube videos, just take what
Yeah.
you like and try to imitate it. That's why my shirt, the explanation, like art imitates art. It comes down to a lot of things.
It
But
does.
you
Yeah.
see so many. I didn't want to like explain what it means, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
But
It's a good quote. And you came up with that?
I came up, yeah. There's like life imitates art and art imitates life. Those are two different quotes.
Yeah.
Like people have said in the past, but I think in a sense, like art imitates art. Like it comes in like so many forms. Like Mbappe, he inspired by Cristiano, and now he's playing like him. So it comes. You see it so many times in life where certain pieces are like imitated.
Yeah. But it's also, it's not like fully, because imitation, it's different. Like you said, like Mbappe is playing like Cristiano, but it's also not like him. Like he's got his own touch. And that's where the art really comes in, because you can take inspiration, but you can't fully copy the other person.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, that comes down to that fucking artistic brain that you gotta have a little bit of creative side for that.
Yeah.
And I think your designs are going great so far. I checked it out
Makes
online.
you go crazy.
It is. It's definitely the actual logo. Are you gonna stick with the same logo, or are you gonna change it up?
No, I think I'm gonna change it.
Yeah.
Because that one is like too mainstream. I don't know if it's now that like when that logo is like called the fleur de lis, which is like a French symbol.
Right.
Now that I like copied it, I just see it everywhere. So I don't know if it's just common or I just like I'm noticing it because I did the design, but
yeah,
it's tripping me out.
Are you trying to associate your name to the branding as well? Or are you gonna try to keep it like completely separated from your own personality and shit? Like
Separate. I want to also eventually probably rebrand, not fully rebrand, but like make it a shorter name that's like easier to recognize. Change the
and easier to say.
Yeah. That's why you gotta be elegant with it.
Bro, I mean, if you're French, then yeah, but if you're an Indian fucktard like me, come on, I'm gonna say Judemart.
That's funny though. Yeah, I want to make it shorter. Like every good brand out there, like is easy to just. It's like 4 letters or 5 letters.
Yeah. And it's also logo as well. Like if you see 3 lines, you automatically go, "Oh, it's Adidas."
I know.
Or you see a thick.
Yeah, that's what I want to make like a logo that's completely unique, which is you know how hard that is. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, and unique and simple. It's the most difficult thing to do.
I think that's one of the hardest things I notice is trying to do something like, how do I explain it? Well, I'm trying to do exactly what I'm trying to say. Trying to condense so many ideas into one simple like sentence, or anything that's big, condensing it into like a small idea where you can get the whole idea of the big picture.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like rappers do that very elegantly. No, like guys like J. Cole or Kendrick. I don't know if you listen to them, but
Yeah.
like if you listen to them, their one bar contains words that have more meanings than a whole fucking sentence of a normal rapper, or like a whole paragraph sometimes.
Yeah, that's where that's
Yeah,
why I like the wordplay. That's where it was actually inspired by. It was actually from Dave, because Dave has a lot of good lyrics. I like a
yeah.
lot of his lyrics.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See what I did
You're an
there?
artist now?
Hey, bro, everyone's an artist in their own life, innit?
True.
They're painting their own picture.
Wow, that
But
was
yeah, thank you. Are you big on philosophy?
yeah, stoicism.
But
So
like, do you
consider philosophy?
no, like, do you see? That's the thing. Like, do you do you like to read stuff written by other like wise people, or do you like to find philosophy in life?
Oh, I like both. I think
Yeah.
if you ask any of my family too, I really think about things in like weird ways. I would consider myself like my own philosopher, to be honest. I'll,
Bro, we're so alike. You don't even know, by the way. I'm
I'll
just gonna
think
say that.
about. I really like philosophy. I like
Yeah.
just wording things, like creating sentences. Like life is an opinion, where it's like has so much meaning, but the person reading it has to really think about what it means.
Yeah. It's not just shallow words.
Yeah, it's not just like an obvious sentence where
Yeah.
it's hard to like. It's hard
You
to
try to deep things. Right?
yeah. I like thinking about things like what's what is like philosophy considered like the not reality. It's like thinking about things. I'm so bad at talking. I don't know. I cannot become a philosopher, but
Hey, no, you're good, bro. You're doing a great job so
if I
far.
could actually like explain what is going on up here, I think I would be a genius. But I can't do it.
And that's why I said you and me are very alike than you know. Because bro, it's the same thing. I like to think like, bro, my parents get so pissy when I talk about it, so I don't talk about it anymore. But like every time they're like, have some fun, enjoy, and I'm like, well, what's the point? We're gonna die in it. And I say it in a funny manner, but they're like, I will kick you in the fucking shin if you say that again. Because my mom gets really pissy when I talk about death, which is obvious because she's a mother. She doesn't want to, hear me
Yeah,
talking about death and all that shit. But it's funny to me that people, get weirded out by this idea still. That
it is
that
hard for people to realize,
yeah,
but I think it comes down to like them not having the same mindset. That's what we gotta just realize.
yeah.
I just don't
It's
bring it up around people. I'm really good at like reading people, so I'll know who I can bring it up to and who I can't.
right. I know if someone's just too consumed by this world, you're like they're not gonna fucking see what I'm seeing right now. So there's no
Yeah,
point, right?
a lot of people don't see things that well.
Yeah.
That's also just probably how I see it. Maybe they do. Who knows? But
Well, that's the same thing. Like you said, like even if they do, it's very hard to articulate it properly because
yeah,
most people lack that skill, and it's very hard to cultivate. I must say, I've been trying to do that lately, and it's very hard to actually properly articulate what you're thinking. It somehow just comes out differently than what you're thinking.
yeah. I'm really bad at that. Oh, I'm introverted, so I
Yeah,
don't really talk in general. I'll be the guy that's like always observing.
right,
Well, I don't have much practice talking. Everything's just
right,
up here, so
right.
people don't know what's going on.
Hey, man said that and been talking about 2.5 hours. We're doing great job, buddy. You're doing an amazing job right now.
I can talk to people I feel like are on the
Yeah,
same like wavelength as me though. If
right.
it's like a good conversation, I can talk forever. If it's like I hate small talk, like I can't do that.
How's the weather today? Good. Okay, then just sit in silence. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'll do that like as a joke. I'll be like, "Oh, how's the weather?" Like I've always thought about that. Doing that like
yeah,
in an elevator when I walk in, just saying that and seeing what happens. Just to
yeah.
work on my like social like just what's the word? Not social anxiety, like the opposite of it.
Like just opening up to random people,
Yeah,
like
like
just
just
being
being
comfortable around random people.
yeah, I want to just do that and like making people feel awkward. I think
Oh
it's
man,
like
it's the
funny.
best. It is the best because you see the reactions and even they're confused. They're like, "How the fuck do I react to that?" But
Yeah.
You know intentionally what you're trying to do, and it's just the funniest thing you do.
Yeah, like being respectful, but also being like making them feel weird at the same time.
Yeah. I'm very good at like I don't know why I'm trying to fucking promote myself. It's about you, but fuck it. I'm very good at like making people laugh and then kind of open up. If that makes any sense.
I like making
Like
them feel comfortable.
kind of like it's weird when they first talk to me, because when I first talk to somebody, I'm like all loud and shit, and then slowly I calm down and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is chill. We're on the same wavelength now. But yeah, I don't know. You could call me an introvert too. I'm kind of an introverted person. I don't like. Are you comfortable? Well, I know you said you're an introvert, but like on some level, are you comfortable just approaching a random stranger and just talking to them?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't care as long as I got something to talk about. I just wouldn't go up to them with nothing to say.
But most of the times, do you?
No, I don't.
Well,
Like
that's
if you
very
gave
good.
me something to like go talk to them about, I'll do it. But
Yeah,
I don't feel the need to.
right.
Even though I think it would be cool to like learn more about other people, but
What's the point?
yeah, at the same time, it's like I think you can learn something from everyone, good or bad. That's my
That's so true. Yeah.
that's my.
Even if like they're going through something, like you can just learn from that.
Even if they're like a bad person, you can learn not to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And you don't necessarily have to talk to them about that either. Like you can just observe and do that, right?
yeah, that's that's all I do. I people like hate me. They're like, "Oh, you never talk," but I'm just like always watching everything. I'm
I
I know
relate
every
to that.
I know everything, but I don't talk, but I know everything. I don't
And
know.
that's
That's a lie. I don't quote that.
no. No, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say, but it's actually so much better that way. Because like my dad always said this one thing, and I will never forget this. He said, if you talk more, you're closing your ears, and that's the only way you learn.
Oh, I think I heard a quote like that. I forgot. You have one mouth, but you have two ears.
I have 2 years, yeah. And I abide, but well, I mean, I've literally started a podcast so that I can fucking talk. So I'm not abiding by that. But most of the times, I'm trying to do that like consciously. But like, I should shut up, and even if they're wrong, even if like I think they're wrong, I let them talk because my opinion can be changed because nothing's rigid in it.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah,
true. It's
yeah.
hard for people to accept that they're wrong, though. I've gotten to the point where I can't lie. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm not wrong, but I need to come, I need to come with that mindset a lot more, where I'm like more open to hearing what other people got to say, even if I don't agree with them at first. Maybe my mindset will change.
Yeah, and it's also fuck. I'm gonna counter myself so bad by saying this. By the way, I heard it last night from Joe Rogan as well. It's weird. It's also that when you talk to somebody, when the other person is talking, say we're talking, yeah. For an example, like while you're talking, I'll either be thinking about okay, what am I gonna say when he stops talking, or I'll already be forming questions and not listen to you properly. And most people do that, including me. It's weird, and I'm trying to work on it so badly because it's such a bad trait to have.
Yeah, I was doing that like half the time when you're talking. That's funny because you're saying that because half the time I'll wait for you to finish, then I'll think about it. But halfway through the sentence, I'll be like, I have an idea what he's gonna say. So, but I think that's
Yeah,
human nature, though. Like you can't
it
just
is.
ignore what they're saying. You know what I mean?
And you can't fully be listening to them and then take your time to think about what they're saying and then say,
Yeah.
because
Imagine how long the conversation would be then.
that's just chat GPT, isn't it? About that, do you have any thoughts about chat GPT, by the way? Because I know I watched that one video where you created a whole training session from chat GPT, mate.
When
How
I
was that
first
like?
when I first used it for that video, that was actually the first time I used it. I was like, this thing's like crazy. It's gonna take
Yeah,
over, which I think AI in general, I think it's gonna take a lot of jobs and stuff like that.
yeah,
And ChatGPT has a lot of purposes, but I haven't, to be honest, I haven't used it except when I'm at school.
right. So many people pass their fucking universities and school from chat GPT, bro, including
I
my
don't,
one room.
I don't even use
Roommate.
it to like. I know a lot of people use it to cheat. I honestly don't use it to cheat. I'll use it to like, uh, reword my sentences to sound. I'll write my whole like paragraph. And I'll be like reword this in a better way.
Right. Oh, don't you feel like that's a weird concept though?
It is weird, but I know. But they do it. The AI caters to what the university wants. Maybe in my mind, I want to portray it differently.
Yeah.
You got to think about it how like the university wants it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. Don't you think that's weird? Because you go there to learn, and you go there to form your own perspective on things that you learn, and they don't let you fully explain that.
Well, yeah.
They just want to see what they want to see, and they force you to say that.
I've always been against like school for the most part, or like how not school in general, but like
how schooling is done,
how restricted it is, like how you need to do a certain thing to get a certain grade. It really restricts your creativity, I think.
Yeah.
Except with topics like math or science, like those are set already. So.
Yeah. Even no, bro. Even like science, you can still like because there's a whole movie made in India about that. Have you ever heard of the movie called Three Idiots?
No.
Bro, you should really give that a watch. Like it's so fucking funny, but it has a great fucking message. Like it has different layers, but one of the messages is that if you learn something, you don't necessarily have to fully copy it and say it as that. You learn something, how you learn is you see something, you're like, oh, this is how it works, but that's how you think it works. It might not work the same way. And when you write what you think how it works, is your own authentic explanation of what you think how the thing works. Did that make any sense? Did I just ramble bullshit? No, right?
No, I think that's what I'm not good at is putting into words what I interpreted.
Right.
Is that what you're trying to say? Like it's like
no. Basically,
why you're learning it?
No, so what you learn is what you understand about it. So say, if I say, okay, so this is how an AirPod works, right? Technically, it works that way. But in your mind, you understood it a different way. But what the university wants is how someone taught you it works, not how you understood how it works.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, like I'm always circling back to my quote, like life is an opinion thing. But I saw this other thing on this other post where it was like, who taught the first teacher? That was my like thing.
Oh, that is so good. I'll keep that.
That's where my quote, life is an opinion came from. Because it's like, even with math, like someone, like even though math is supposedly objective, like someone had to create the concepts at first. So it was
math's different. I can speak for math. I'm an Indian. Don't worry about it. Math, universe is the math. So you got
it. Yeah, I does add up. But for me, it's like someone did set the boundaries and stuff. It does all add up. It's kind of
that's where you can always circle. That's why every math science question circles back to who the fuck made it, and that's when religion and all those superficial things come into play.
Everything's interlocked.
It is.
Everything's related to one another.
And guess what? We only got a fucking 80 years to figure it out. Mate, that's not enough time.
How do you know? How do you know it's only 80 years?
Have you seen what goes around us?
You don't know what happens after we're here. Unless you know something I don't know.
I prefer not to say. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. We sleep, innit? We sleep and then we wake up somewhere else.
Sleep is like the trippiest thing. Like, you ever think about like how weird sleep is?
I do, because like you just completely skip past that part of your life.
Yeah, I have this theory that like every time you go to sleep, like you wake up in a new reality.
You think?
I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's true. It's just like something like creative I thought about.
I mean, it is.
I think it's a movie on that. You know, Inception?
I've been meaning to watch it, but I'm just scared because it took me fucking 5 tries to understand Interstellar properly. So I'm not gonna.
I think Inception is pretty trippy too.
Yeah.
You should watch it though.
I'll give it a watch. Yeah. It's a whole thing about Matrix and all that shit, right? Escape the Matrix and all that fucking bullshit.
I haven't seen the Matrix, but I think it is like it's trippy for sure though. You don't know what's going on. the first time.
That always fascinated me because you know what's going on in front of you, but there are so many fucking things at play, which, by the way, concern you somewhere. Like, bro, someone you don't fucking even know, like me, bro. You didn't know I existed, and now we're talking. How the fuck did that happen?
3 hours?
Yeah, how the fuck did that happen? There are so many things in play that are happening behind you. That's why I used to have opinions or I used to have set plans. Like now I don't. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on behind me or like things that I don't know. So anything is possible.
It is kind of crazy to think about. Everything lines up. Everything you've done in your life has led up to this moment.
Well, not everything, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done some shit in my life. No, I'm joking. I mean, yeah, kind of.
No, not kind of. It's true.
You think? What about you?
Everything has like shaped what you think up here, or it's shaped like your reality.
Oh yeah, have you? Ah man, I've heard about that theory that what you think is what you've been through so far. So like you're literally, it's
How would that
weird
not be true?
because then what's imagination? Because you haven't experienced that yet.
Oh, you're saying like everything, even like in your dreams, has happened before?
Yeah. Because like if you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but you can imagine it happening, how?
It's trippy. I know what you're saying though, but there's a lot
Yeah.
to think about.
It's a weird fucking concept. I can talk about this shit for hours, man. I hope I'm not taking too much of your time. I'm really enjoying this conversation, by the way.
No, it's been good. I just need to eat something soon. I haven't eaten anything all day. I can't eat because these fucking teeth, but
what time is it for you right now?
12:30.
Oh, you're like an hour behind me. That's fine. You're on East Coast?
West, California.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm bang central. We don't even have daylight savings. I mean, we do, but it's made up. I never understood that concept. We don't have that shit in India, so I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because the first time I experienced it, I saw the random change on my clock. So my PC is still functioning on it's 2:34 on my PC at 1:34 on my phone, right?
Yeah, it is kind of weird to think about. I don't know if it's, I don't know what to think about it. I was gonna say I don't know if it's related to each country. Like some countries need to do it, or the U.S. just wants to do it.
Mate, it's always that US is just trying to do some shit that nobody wants to do with it. Like US is that one chick in high school that peaked in high school, but is still trying to act cool.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm talking shit about your country, but it's
I was gonna say, well, there are a lot of bad things about like bad and good about every country. I was just gonna say a lot of countries are influenced by the U.S. though.
Yeah, mate. The first superpower. US was the first superpower, wasn't it?
I don't know. You think I paid attention in history?
Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. What was your favorite subject in class?
Like in high school or in college?
I'd say in college because nobody fucking cared about high school anyways.
Probably consumer. I took this class last semester. It was consumer behavior.
Your inner Gujarati is really coming out right now, by the way. Can I just point that out? Fucking from the get-go, man's consumed with business studies, marketing. How can I make money from people?
No, I actually hate money. I'm gonna be honest. If I could, I would go to like India and become a monk. But I also have other ideas of things that I want to do. So maybe in the future, that's what I'll do. But no, I just like that class because it's like I like psychology too. It comes down to like understanding people.
Right.
So I like learning about that.
Oh, that's amazing. Psychology. It's a difficult topic. I took it in fucking as one of my electives. All they taught me was about Sigmund Freud. So I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't like I took philosophy in university and it's just not the same. I think psychology could be interesting if like it's not a university class. Like you just learn on your own.
And yeah, because like I feel like everyone's a bit of a psychologist at like on some level because you constantly trying to read people.
Exactly.
You're trying to read their actions. You're trying to read their intentions. So
that's why it's interesting to me, because I think you could apply it a lot.
How do you think you could apply that to football?
Reading like a defender, or reading how they feel about you at, like, let's say like you're a winger and the right back, like you can see how confident they are probably.
That's facts. That's true. So what do you want to pursue? Like, do you want to go full on football after university, or you have like a backup plan or something like that with the studies?
That's like the hardest thing, because if I'm gonna be honest, like I really don't like the professional side of the game. I don't like how 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 political it is with not like at the highest level it's probably nice, but the like the semi-pro and all these amateur levels, it's kind of like a lot of politics, and you need to know people, and even if you sign for a team, they might not play you. It's so much to it. I think it's a lot of wasted time, and for me, not wasted time. That's not true, but you learn stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, my ideal situation would be playing in Europe, like on any team, highest level possible.
Right.
And working for myself,
Yeah.
and traveling the world. I mean, I couldn't travel if I'm playing, but
Right.
my goal would be to work for myself and travel anywhere I wanted to.
It's like be your own like entrepreneur and
Be my own
shit.
boss, yeah. Which is not an easy thing to pursue at all.
Bro, everybody's trying to do that, including me. I started my own agency trying to think about that, and it's fucking hell. It takes a lot, especially when you have a day job. I work in demolition, so I'm already fucking mentally and physically tired, and then I have to fucking train for football. Life's been long lately. I just
Yeah.
gotta say, yeah.
You just gotta take it day by day.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's how I live it. But it teaches you.
It,
Like it's weird. It's weird. Like even a set routine. If you do something, if you do the same thing every single day as well, it still teaches you something. It's weird when you think about it.
yeah. Even with the set routine, sometimes like you won't even want to do it some days, but you learn that you have to. Like you have to do it.
Yeah, and after a while, it just becomes a habit. Like I mentioned, I've been eating the same shit for so many years. Like I'm in such a habit that when I don't do it, it just feels like I'm kind of missing something.
I
And
mean,
that's where rest days come in, and rest days irritate me because I'm like, fuck, I'm not doing
you got to
productive.
appreciate the rest days too.
Yeah,
You got to. It'll take time, but you'll come to. I used to be at the same point where I hate the rest days, but now I've understood how important they are for me.
what do you do on a rest day though? Obviously not train, but like what else? Because
I just
I
work on.
usually, yeah.
I was gonna say I work on anything else that I have. Like you could work on editing the podcast, editing a video. I know it's not gonna take the whole day, but you're not training the whole day anyways.
I'll let you in on a secret. I hate editing. I've been doing it for so long, bro. It's the same shit. You cut, you add effect. It's mad, man.
I get probably editing a podcast is not fun. I can't lie, because you're just doing like that. But like for my YouTube videos, I like editing because I can be creative with it.
Yeah, I tried that. I've made over 400. I'm like 300 something videos. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Hey.
After a point, especially because I've hit that barrier where I couldn't film with other people, and the things that I wanted to do, I didn't have resources to do that. So I was stuck doing the same fucking thing, and it's very hard to be creative in the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, think about my training videos.
Oh man, I relate. That's why I relate with you so much. That's why did I say that we're so alike? Because brother, it's so fucking hard to do. But the training videos, one thing I can say about that is that when you train, you can actually physically see improvement. So if you don't like, you can upload once a month a training video, and you can see, all right, I've been training for a certain skill, I got it now. Like you can transition into that if you want to do that.
That's true. I was thinking about making a video like training with only a mini ball for a week, but you're gonna steal that?
Shouldn't have said that, boy. I'm kidding.
All right, I got a new idea. You can steal that.
I haven't posted anything on YouTube, on my actual like YouTube channel yet since 2021. But
wait, where is this going?
I have a yeah, it's on YouTube. I have a different podcast channel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole new thing that I started. So you're
Right.
gonna be very disappointed, but you're not gonna get a lot of views, mate.
I won't be
But
disappointed at all.
I
I'm
love the
glad
conversation.
you're doing it. Do something you want to do. You've been
Yeah,
wanting to do. That's like with my clothing brand. I've thought about doing it the longest time, and
yeah,
I didn't get that many sales, but so happy I did it.
bro. It gives you a different satisfaction, doesn't it? Be like, yeah, man. Even if like it wasn't successful, I fucking did it. And the only reason I did podcasts is because I'm so eager to learn.
Uh-huh.
Like I could talk to you because you're such a fucking interesting guy. Like I could talk to you for hours and learn so much. And that's I think podcast does that. Like you can talk to so many different people, regardless of whether they're successful or not. You still learn from them when you talk to a certain person,
Mm.
and that's why I want to do this podcast thing.
I think it's interesting. Like, I don't show a lot of the things I've said in this podcast. Like, I don't show a lot of this stuff in my videos.
Yeah,
So I find it interesting how you just knew I was interesting in person.
you know what's weird? You didn't show it, but I knew it. It's weird. Because what you said, like obviously not the fucking philosophy and all that shit, but from your clothing brand, from art imitates art, like all those different aspects that you show, I kind of connected the dots of what kind of person you are, and that fascinated me. I was like, fuck, this is a very interesting person. I want to talk to this guy, and I'm glad I did.
Really, if you really like you say, like really connect the dots,
Yeah,
you would understand. You would realize what I'm doing. A lot of people don't do that. That's why. It's nice to talk to someone that finally understands.
Got the same wavelength. I got you, man. I got you. Don't worry. I'm a weird guy.
Hey, if you're not weird, you're boring. That's all I gotta say.
That's facts. Okay, one last piece of advice you'd like to give to a footballer that is in my position or in your position.
Any footballer in general.
Yeah.
I'm always, okay, I'm going a little bit of tangent before we end again, but
Go
I've
ahead.
always like hated like being the same as everyone else. It's like irritates me. Like that's why I didn't wear Nike. I said in my video, I haven't worn Nike since I was 7. You know why? It's because I never wanted to wear them because everyone would wear Nike. That's why.
Especially the Air Forces.
Yeah, I didn't have any Nike shoes.
Yeah.
Now I started reading like the founder of Nike's book. It's called Shoe Dog, and it gave me a new like found respect for him. So I'm like, all right, I'll wear.
That's what it gets for you to wear Nike.
Because I learned about him, and it was like cool to hear his struggles of building the brand and stuff like that.
I'll bless you with my purchase.
Like, all right, I know you don't need the money, but I got you.
That's funny. So for someone who is fuck it, I'll give me an advice. I haven't played in a competitive team or environment. All my football I knew was from YouTube and watching other people. I'm training hard. I aspire to be professional, and my new goal is to play in the Champions League, which is impossible. But what's the point of achieving something if it isn't impossible? So
it's like shoot for the stars. Even if you don't hit them, you'll hit the moon or something. I forgot the quote. But
you shoot for the stars and you might just land on the moon.
Yeah. This isn't related to necessarily like improving, but I would say this is just my personal like take on the football right now. Is that everyone is just robots, so please just add some. That's bad advice because that's just how I play.
No, bro, give it to me.
No, I was gonna say add like some interesting parts to your game that make it like interesting to watch. Don't just play like everyone else. Don't be a robot. Everyone nowadays is becoming a fucking robot. That's why I don't like watching the game as much anymore.
Yeah.
So many dead players.
Oh man, you're referring back to that 2013 to 2016 era. Neymar Jr. HD skills 2015-16.
I still watch those.
Lionel Messi dribbling solo runs. Man, those are the times.
I watched Neymar at Santos. I watch those videos like all day. Actually, that's the reason. That's one of the main reasons I'm still like playing the game. Yeah. Because of him. If it wasn't for Neymar, I don't think I would be playing anymore.
Really?
and like trying to like get better.
How does he affect you? Like, do you like the way he plays, or
I just like how he's creative and he just expresses himself. I don't necessarily like the diving side of his game, but I think people only look towards that part of his game.
yeah?
And I think there's so much more to it. He's just creative. Like there will never be a player like him again.
Right. So, like Bruce Lee said, like it's just a form of expression. You're expressing yourself through your football.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Oh, and this is my opinion at the end of the day, but I think a lot of people don't have a unique play style to them.
They're not, yeah. And I respect people who actually do, because even at lower levels, you see those kids who grab the ball and just start running around. And yes, it's fucking frustrating because they don't pass or they're shit at it, but they still give it a try. But at the end of the day, they still believe in that little bit of magic that they have. And it's very interesting to me because it's like they're trying to express themselves regardless of how other people think about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what life is, isn't it?
I think you need that confidence. That's the other point I would give to any footballer is just like, don't be afraid to make a mistake in games. Like if you make a mistake, just forget about it. Like
Right.
learn from it and then forget it happened.
Right.
And do it again to make sure you get it right. I think I saw De Bruyne comment on something like that.
That's amazing. So basically, keep doing what you're doing, and keep that magic that made you fall in love with the game in the beginning, and just keep doing it.
Oh, sorry, I got another quote. Sorry.
You go for it.
This is the other one.
Go for it.
One of this guy I saw on Twitter. It was like everything's cringe until it's not. Something like that.
Facts, yo. Everything's shit until it's not.
Yeah.
You
Everyone
just gotta-
looks at you weird until you've done it. Like,
Have you set any timelines for yourself? Like, I'm gonna be pro until this level, or at this age, if I don't.
I don't really like that.
No.
I'm trying to live more like day by day.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well,
Nothing matters at the end of the day. So
I mean, at the end of the day, we're just gonna fucking sleep forever, isn't it?
I'm just kidding. Nah, it's up here in your soul that matters. Be a good person, healthy lifestyle, and you'll be good.
Eat a lot of mangoes if you can afford them.
Mangoes
Bro,
and chickpeas.
sorry, before I fucking end this, I have to mention this shit. Bro, fruits are sold by piece here. Is it the same thing in US as well? So, like, if you buy a mango, is it one mango worth this much? Or is it per fucking weight?
Usually by weight. Actually, I don't know.
I
I think it varies by store.
Does it?
Yeah. Some stores will do the one, some will do the other.
I tried to buy a mango here. Like, I tried to buy a kg because a kilogram is the system in India. So, yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll get a kilogram of mangoes. I went there and my bill was like $40 fucking. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then I saw the price. I was like, $2.77 per piece. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It doesn't even taste as good either.
No, man, and that's the reason I didn't have mangoes for the last 5 years of my life, and I went ham on it when I went back to India. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, either way, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
It's been amazing.
Fucking amazing.
Good ass. I haven't had a conversation this good in a while. I can't lie.
No, I'm honored. I'm glad I actually fucking because I was so skeptical that you weren't gonna fucking reply. I was like, fuck it, I'll just.
Usually I'll be like, nah, but I don't know. I guess everything happens for a reason. So
I guess
I replied. I try to reply to every DM now.
Yeah.
But usually if people ask for like a favor, I'll be like,
nah.
I don't know, like.
Why would you ask favors on Instagram? There's no point.
Who's done that before?
I mean, this was a favor, but I just wanted to have a conversation. Just wanted to know you more.
Like I had no idea who you were or anything about you, but something about it, I was just like, all right, let's just do it. Whatever.
Well, it was great.
It's been solid, yeah.
Huh?
It's been solid.
It's been solid. I thought you said how tall are you? I was like, is he really gonna ask me that?
Why would I randomly bring that up?
I don't know. How tall are you?
5'9".
I'm gonna cut this call right now.
Wow, how tall are you? Like 6'3" or something?
Fuck no. I'm 5'9" too. I'm kidding.
I actually wouldn't rather be short than tall. because I would lose my speed probably.
Oh man, I love this guy. Yes, of course, obviously, but being tall is fucking. You get chicks, innit?
I don't give a fuck. I'll find the one either way.
My guy, my
No,
guy.
I probably won't, but it'll happen.
Lower center of gravity, be like Messi. Yes, love it. Who would take that?
Nah, I like being fast.
Neymar's not fast. All right. I'll stop recording. That's fuck. It was almost 3 hours. I stopped it at 2:59 something.
Just add like actually I don't know what you could.
I'll add like an outro.
Longest podcast of all time.
I'll add like an outro or something. Oh, that was amazing. Wait, I gotta.
That's like a black screen at the end.
I did that for one of my videos and I commented, I like voiced over on it. I was like, "You're still watching? How fucking sad are you?" And a couple of people fucking messaged me like, "What the fuck are you doing with your life?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know, man."
I think I did that once to like get to the 8-minute mark so I could add more ads, but that was it.